Yeah, thank you very much. So formally now we are ready to start our session, and I just request my team to start the live webcast of this particular program. Okay, so thank you very much. So first of all, I would like to thank my heartfelt thank to Dr. H.K. Vasne sir, Dr. Sangeeta Srivastava ma'am, and Dr. Vivek Kumar Moria sir, who are here to train us or to guide us regarding what are the career prospects and opportunities are available in particular this field, that is biotechnology. So as we know, we have here to attend this particular workshop, that is workshop number 18 of this particular e-refresher course in biotechnology, which we have designed to learn the innovation by advanced biotechnology, and also because this is very important era that is known as the era of biotechnology, which is 21st century. So we have designed this whole e-refresher course to guide all the stakeholder, students, researchers, so that they can be trained regarding how can we go for further advancement in this particular biotechnology field, and also how can we join this field as an entrepreneur or as a biotechnocrat. So this is workshop 18, that is scope, career and entrepreneurship in biotechnology, and it is based on interaction with scientific and industrial experts and bio-entrepreneurs which are in this field. And this workshop is designed in such a way that participant could be able to take up a particular area as future objective in the field of biotechnology. And this workshop will prove as a day of great learning and interaction towards Startup India and fostering entrepreneurship spirit among biotechnology students and research scholars. So they will learn from industry professionals to about biotechnology commercialization and grow professional network and explore entrepreneurial opportunity that build on basic research. Also, we have invited our eminent speakers. Basically, I can say they are policy makers, and they will guide us how can we take this biotechnology field as a opportunity for our career. So firstly, I would like to invite our eminent speaker of this particular workshop. The first speaker would be Dr. H.K. Vasne sir, and he is basically belongs to Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. There he is working as advisor and also as scientist G. Dr. Varshney sir is working is on this position since 2015 till, and on this particular position he is servicing for bilateral scientific cooperation of India and with partners countries. Before that, Dr. Varshney has worked for Ministry of Science and Technology as at Scientist F for promotion of scientific research, and I think he's going on this path before by getting very good. Yeah, and he has worked as counselor of from India and Embassy of India at Moscow. And there he was engaged in promotion of bilateral scientific cooperation between India and Russia. So his education is basically from Delhi University and Aligarh Muslim University. So I think with this word, I should invite our eminent of speaker, Dr. S.K. Vasne sir, to guide us and to help us to whole biotechnology fraternity so that they can go on right path for their future. Sir, Vasne sir, please.
Thank you and namaskar to everyone. As Dr. Kamlesh has told you about me, I am working in Department of Science and Technology, And I would just a minute. I would be speaking today on how internet in upliftment and when we were thinking that international cooperation is more of a luxury, but this is no more a luxury. This is very much what we feel in demand, and why we need it, uh, that I'll discuss with you today. But Kamleshi, yeah. Can you see my presentation?
Yes,
Right,
sir.
sir. Yes.
Okay. So first question is, what are the advantages? That of course, science, technology, and innovation, they are dialogue opener, dialogue sustainer, and bring community together. What happens when two countries are trying to collaborate? They are looking for some soft opening, and these soft openings are social relations, sporting relation, culturing relation, and those kind of things. And similarly, science, technology, and innovation also provide that platform where we can go for soft opening. Other thing is, science and technology is helping both uh, disasters as well as epidemics. Uh, we know currently we are going through this corona times, and it is the scientific cooperation across the world which we are going. What is the virology? Several ask what could be this against tuberculosis, against several refer various. We are working on new medicines, both preventive and curative for corona. We are working on developing new devices. Uh, so what I'm trying to say is that science and technology cooperation help us in raising and answering the social issues, and of course it leads to economic cooperation. So many of the scientific products eventually leads to the economic cooperation. So first thing is, first and foremost, that whatever you are doing at the national level, that is the prime thing. So whatever we are trying to solve our own solution problems, that adds, that's the crux. So international cooperation is doing the job of value addition. So we are primarily adding values to something what we are doing otherwise. Then we are trying to make ourselves globally competitive. That is very important because, as you know, in science and also in other fields, it is a question of who did it first. So whether it is reporting, whether it is providing solutions, for example, in current times, when so many preventive vaccines are being talked about, it is still a race who will win. And some products like Russian vaccine have come into the market. We are also trying it in the Indian things, Indian scenario, clinical trials. Uh, we have to remain competitive. If we are not competitive in terms of time, in terms of cost, we'll lag behind. So that is the another purpose of international cooperation. Then third thing is we should address global challenges. You know, world is facing variety of challenges. Some of them are quite across. So not only the current pandemic, but different agroclimatic requirements, be it in terms of food, be in terms of diseases, be in terms of natural harshness, we need to address those challenges together. And then international cooperation also provide in our participation in experiments, which we call mega science projects. These are something which are not possible for one country to do by themselves. For example, laboratories like CERN, laboratories like cyclotron, neutrotrons. So where we would not like to invest a huge money, but still we would like to work in those facilities. So that is possible from this thing. And then, of course, it's not only science, but we need to work together to develop a complete ecosystem facilitating innovation and techno entrepreneurship. And we are supporting technology development through applied and industrial research and development. But we are also supporting applied science, industrial research, and we would like to see whatever is proven at lab scale should be upscaled and taken to commercial level. We are connecting innovation models to gain access to market in other countries. This is something which we are doing in various developing and least developing countries. We are also doing country at par with India, and we are also trying to provide such access to developed world, where we could demonstrate our capabilities, our strength, and could gain their market. And then, of course, we would like to create world-class facility at home. So already we have got biggest optical telescope in Nainital. It's biggest in Asia. We have going to have a LEGO facility in Karnataka later this year. Not this year, next year. And we are developing several centers of excellences. So this is how we are doing. And of course, as a part of Ministry of External Affairs, Science and Technology, as I said in the opening slide, we are also promoting political relationship. How we are doing it? So we are co-sharing objectives based on mutuality and parity, co-investment and co-creation of value. Here, what I would like to tell you is that it is not always co-investment and co-creation. It depends that what kind of country we are talking to cooperate. For example, we would like to have a share in the IP, whatever is being generated. On the other hand, if we are talking for cooperation with country like Africa or maybe in our immediate neighborhood, we are not expecting much in return. So it is more like helping them to develop science and technology. So that is what we are saying, not only in my next statement, mitigating science and technology gaps. So this is not only our gaps, but also trying to mitigate gaps elsewhere in the world. We are trying to address techno-social priority gaps, and we are using it as an underpin of a knowledge economy. No, now we are going towards knowledge economy, and tomorrow's marketing would be driven by high-tech, knowledge-driven products. And then, of course, we are using it as people-to-people contact as a tool for diplomacy. How we are doing it? In fact, we are using all possible channels to do it. So whether it is contact building through workshop, seminar, exhibition, symposia, fellowship, internship, exploratory visits, or maybe field visit for some international meets with peer, Nobel laureates, eminent scientists. We are providing support for R&D projects, organizing schools, taking our scientists to mega science facilities. We are developing joint R&D clusters, virtual R&D network center, multi-institutional R&D projects, and also we are promoting pre-commercial research and development and innovation. So for this, we are going for academia, industry, applied industrial research projects. We are doing this innovation and entrepreneurship, innovative platforms, facilitating technology development, technology transfer, joint ventures. And then we are organizing annually an event which is called Technology Summit. This we do in partnership with CII and with one partner country. How we are doing this cooperation. So in my introduction, Kamlesh told about the bilateral agreement. What we are doing is that there are several tools and individual level, country to country, we have these agreements. We are also participating in several regional and multilateral partnerships, for example, European Union, ASEAN, BIMSTEC, Indian Ocean Rims, BRICS, IPSA, Shanghai Cooperation, Indo-Pacific Initiative, those kind of things. We are also engaged in several international bodies. For example, NAM SNT Center, TWAS, the World Academy of Sciences, International Center for Theoretical and Physics, UNESCO, UNCTAD, Carnegie Group, GSL, GRI, STS Forum, and then there are several facilities, advanced facility, of which India is member. So it includes CERN, Electra, Springate. These are just to give you the names that what are the different way we could collaborate. So my simple suggestion to you is that if you are looking for international cooperation, find out from where your partner comes, and you can check with us what kind of cooperation engagements we are having with that country. So as far as our principles are concerned, they are based on 4 principles: technology synergy, technology diplomacy, technology. When we are talking with developed countries, we are talking about technology synergy. This is where there is a co-investment. When I talk co-investment, it is not only funds, but also the intellectual inputs. And then whatever comes out, be it publication, be it patents, be it some other thing, so it is jointly co-owned. And we recommend that participants by themselves agree what could be the formula of sharing. If it is 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, they need to reach an IP understanding so that when the project gets completed, they should understand what is they going to gain. Technology diplomacy, we are trying to help countries in mitigating their gap areas, and these countries are in our immediate neighborhood: ASEAN, Africa, countries of South America, where we are trying to do this. Technology development is where we are taking industry and academia together and asking them to develop program to convert something on high TRL level. I hope all of you are aware with NASA TRL level, technology readiness level, where 1 to 3 or maybe 1 to 4 are projects where more of scientific research is done, but 5 onwards, a TRL rating of 5 and above is towards conversion of that knowledge into a meaningful product. So we would like to support high TRL product for technology development. We are using technology acquisition also, but this is something we are using very reluctantly, but there is a provision. And here we are picking up those areas where there is a substantial gap in technology between India and some other country, and we realize that it may not be worth it while to invest our time in reaching that level, because the global conditions are different, and also because we need to reach a faster solution. So in such cases, we go for technology acquisition. We are primarily using this program for our requirement in defense research, for our requirement in strategic sector like atomic energy, space, which are very frequently subject to several checks otherwise. So this is how we are designing our international program into 4 packages. Oh, I think I have already explained you what is this means. So technology synergy is more of a parity based partnership, and technology diplomacy, we are investing in promoting S&T based technology development. We are promoting PPP model, and then need based investment for technology acquisition. As far as our partners are concerned, entire part of the world we are having good partners. So I think that is not something which you need to worry. And then of course we have got several multilateral and regional frameworks which are also available to our researchers. So in a nutshell, I can say quite a big platform which we have now. In addition to Department of Science and Technology, we have created 3 centers for promotion of bilateral research. Now, these centers are funded by Department of Science and Technology on the Indian side, and there is an equal contribution from the partner government for these promotion of these science. And these centers act independently as an autonomous organization for promotion of bilateral research. And we have in center which is called Center for Science and Technology for Non-Aligned Country. It's one of the center which has members among various southern countries to promote South-South cooperation or non-aligned cooperation. Now, technology synergy, where we are having programs where both sides invest and both sides read. And I have classified into 2 programs. One I'm calling strategic cooperation, and another is reciprocal cooperation. So strategic cooperation is where from both sides, multiple agencies are involved. So it's not only DST, but from our side, agencies like DBT, ICMR, Earth Sciences, Electronics. So several agencies are involved with these countries for cooperation, whereas when we are talking about reciprocal cooperation, it is mostly DST on the Indian side. Similarly, from their side also, several agencies are involved, and this our programs which we are doing with these countries are in bottoms up approach, which means that you need to put in a proposal which has to stand on competitive ground. So we are supporting those projects which are competitively good in the research. As far as technology diplomacy is concerned, we are having several programs on like ASEAN. We have developed a special ASEAN India Fund. We are running Africa S&T initiative, where we have done CV Raman program, training program, and technology transfer programs. And we are now partnered with with World Bank on development of African Center of Excellences in several STEM areas. So we have Mauritius, Sri Lanka, we are offering them fellowship. We are working on this Act East policy. Again, we have launched several programs, and then we are working with South America. As far as technology development is concerned, this is where we are promoting PPP mode industry academia research. So we have partnered with these countries: Canada, Finland, France, Germany, Israel, Spain, South Korea, Sweden, Russia, UK, and USA. And with these countries, we are quite excited. And let me say, biotechnology is one of those areas which in one way, be it agrobiotech or towards medicine, biomedical, all of them are engaged in these programs. And then we are also promoting techno entrepreneurships with France, Finland, several innovation platform. So Asian India Innovation Platform, which is promoting social innovation through there. Our partner is National Innovation Foundation. Research innovation, where our partner is NRDC. Product innovation, where our partner is FICCI. Then we have BRICS, Science and Technology Innovation and Entrepreneurship Partnership, which we are using. And then we are promoting several industrial research and development programs through a company called GITA, Global Innovation Technology Alliance. This is a company which is established by Department of Science and Technology along with CII. And then we have launched two very interesting programs, India Ethiopia and India Rwanda, where what innovators in those countries. So we are doing a study seeking that what kind of research solutions these countries are looking, and based on their requirement, we raise a competition here, and then we provide access to our companies to go to these markets, and all exercise of matchmaking and establishing initial contracts is done through our programs, and of course, subsequently, companies are independent to venture. We have created a joint fund also, for example, with India-Israel Innovation and Industrial R&D. We have created a fund of $40 million spread over 5 years, which promotes research targeted towards providing solutions, product-driven research. Here we are not talking about products, but of research, and regular projects and regular fellowships are being supported. We are doing Indo-Hungarian funds, Indo-Portuguese fund. So these are dedicated fund, Asian SNT fund, which are available to our partner. We are also offering prizes. So these prizes are BRICS Young Innovator Prize, DST ICTP Ramanujan Prize, and Asian India Grassroots Innovation Prize. So for this, competition is at global level, and of course we would recommend and we would expect our competitors also to participate and win. We are supporting several programs for capacity buildings, which are done through fellowships, scientific seminar, trainings, summer and winter schools, and then creation of virtual centers and networks. So what we are trying to do is, like in fellowship, we are encouraging our doctoral and postdoctoral students to go abroad for 3 to 6 months at Government of India expenses. And we are awarding about 500 scholarships each year for this purpose. We are supporting a number of scientific seminars with various countries. Training we are providing, and also if our students require some advanced training, that could be considered. With select partner countries, we are doing this summer and winter schools and then creating these virtual centers. There are several outgoing fellowships which DST has initiated for our researchers. So these are for France, South Korea, Japan, to increase this canvas, and we could be offering more for our researchers. These are in addition to what you normally see on our SERB page, the different fellowships which are provided from there. We are also having other opportunity for an overseas interaction for Indian researchers. We are organizing Young Scientist Conclave. We are doing Frontier of Science and Engineering. We are taking Indian students for Nobel Laureate meeting. Hope meeting and Asian Science Camp meeting. Now here the idea is our youngsters are exposed to peers in select field, and these interaction provide them new energy and new excitement. Also providing fellowships for researchers from different countries to come to India. And again, these are in addition to what is provided by SERB, except the last one, Vajra, which is primarily anchored by SERB. All other fellowships to receive scientists from neighborhood, from Asian country, from African country, French, South Korea, UK, Japan, Australia. Now, idea is that for you also, it provides an opportunity that when a researcher from any of these programs comes, the fellow comes with local experience or local challenges, what he or she has faced, and you tacitly gets an. There are several facilities where India has become member, and we recommend our fellow to participate. This include a CERN in Geneva, FAIR in Germany. TMT is still under development, 30-meter telescope. Then we are having beams lines in Trieste telescope, and then Petra 3 in Germany, KK in Japan, and then we are member of Square Kilometer Array Telescope. We have launched, agreed for this LIGO, and then we are going to set up a national large solar telescope in Ladakh area. And then I told you about this Nainital optical telescope, which is the biggest one in Asia. Just to give you an idea of different centers are performing. So this is just a snapshot of some select projects, not completely a picture of them, but what kind of joint research projects we have been doing with these countries and who are Indian and overseas partners. So just to give you a snapshot, I have put 3 slides that this is what we are doing in the Indo-French thoroughly basic science cooperation. Whereas in Indo-US, we are doing research along with industries and startup enterprises, providing some solutions in each areas. And this is Indo-German. It is primarily industrial research, and we are identifying these areas for each call, and they can differ. So stakeholders will define these areas and develop this partnership. How it has impacted international cooperation? Really, that every 2 out of 5 projects, these projects, if you see these publications, then there is a high impact as compared to national publication. So if you have got an international publication where one of the author is from some other country, it has relatively higher impact. We are creating joint patents with several countries we have done, and our top 3 countries in terms of research publications are USA, Germany, and UK, and then participating in several facilities abroad. Now, what we are trying to do is we are trying to reorient our team program. Earlier, when any country used to come to us and they used to say that we will be working with you in this area, we were accepting. But today, we have become negotiator, and we are proactively identifying that with this country, we would like to work only in this particular themes. We are putting focus on country high in innovation index. So country like Denmark, Finland, Israel, Norway, Sweden, we are trying to reconnect ourselves with several countries having good potential of research. Countries like Belarus, Czech, Egypt, Italy, Mexico, Netherlands, Portugal, and we are going for top-down engagement in case of Africa, neighborhood, and East countries, and also trying to reduce our list of 80 partners so that inoperative agreement could be done away, and then developing industrial R&D project along with our national missions, so national programs. As far as our list is concerned, what we have done, identified several countries where we have mapped their strength, and this is for you that how, based on our experience, we have identified these strengths in different subject areas, and this is we would be too happy to support research in these area with these countries. Just to illustrate you that what are the achievement of cooperation we could list, which includes first two are of course biotechnology, but then we are quite convinced that it would lead to several of such things, and we could this Stanford India Biodesign Program is one in its kind, and we are also establishing centers and then developing innovation growth program. And recently, what we have changes done, we have launched new phase of Australia, India Strategic Research Fund, Canada. We are working on integrated water management and sustainable development. Japan program, which we have opened now for our school student also, along with researchers. And then we are establishing joint science labs, launching this industrial R&D program. UK Newton Bhava program is being revived. USA TMT and LIGO we are working, and then industrial R&D program, which we are doing. In future, we would like to launch a new program for our neighborhood countries, create technology acquisition mechanism, which is right now restricted only to strategic sectors. We would like to broaden its base, launch inward fellowship for scientists coming from Russia and CIS countries, establish JC Bose Research Center in Bangladesh, focus program for university to augment international research, and then under Africa program, we would like to establish a Africa R&D fund, develop technology transfer programs, and then new areas which we are working on include system, tissue engineering, and knowledge systems. And in immediate future, what we are planning. Thank you for this, my presentation. And if you have any questions, I would be too glad to answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for it was an excellent guidance from your side to all the participants and also us. And it was very informative for all of us. So we have, of course, we have some queries from the audience. Arpit,
Yeah, please.
are you there?
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity to ask questions. We welcome you, Dr. S.K. Varshney, sir. And thank you for that presentation. That presentation was highly motivating for our young aspiring mind. The questions we have from the participants, that is, sir, as the researchers are getting some problem in applying the visa, so to enter into the international domain, so how these researchers go for different types of prerequisites so that they can complete the process, and there should be no as such any problem in getting visa, because now the international guidelines are changing. So if you can highlight something on this.
The visa is a very, very dynamic process, and it keeps on changing. But what we have assured for our partners, in consultation with our partners, that any program which is supported by any government agency on two sides, or at least one government agency and one premier national agency, be it government or private. So any participant in that program is not harassed for visa. So which means that if your project is selected for joint support by two governments, or one side government and another side private NGO or body, then your visa should not be an issue, and it should be issued as per the normal processes which is being done. But several times we find that our researchers at their own establish contact with a university or an institute or a company or with an NGO abroad, and they receive an invitation directly. Now that is where, unfortunately, we cannot intervene in the process of an embassy because we are not a party. But wherever government driven programs you are participating, visa is not a challenge. I hope I have answered your query.
Thank you so much, sir, for the answer. The next question we have: how STI, Science, Technology and Innovation, is acting in community health and community medicine with respect to India?
We are looking for solutions which are affordable in nature. If you see on contrast, we have become a country where lot of medical tourism is happening, which means people are coming here, take treatment in India in our five-star hospitals, and they find it much more economical as compared to European or American hospitals. On the other hand, for our own community, those five-star hospitals are unaffordable. Quite at exorbitant price. So what we are trying to promote open source research so that formulations are not protected by the IP, and they are easily available. And a big process on tuberculosis research has been taken in this direction. So open source tuberculosis program is being run. So as you know, that this sector is quite driven by multinational pharma companies, giants, and they would not like to lose their grip on the market. And for example, in current pandemic, we started with the Rabiflu, we started with Remdesivir, which are now available in several parts of the world. And which was already available in big quantity, and we exported it. So government would like that anything, if we could provide solution at a cost which is affordable to our community, that kind of research we would like to support. We would like to support its marketing, and I'm sure in once the clinical trial are over, even for the current pandemic, next year sometime we should be able to provide a vaccine for COVID to our community at affordable price, which may be initially, at least maybe for initially 3 months or 4 months, it could be quite expensive, but eventually it will come down. I'll give you an example of polio vaccine project with which I am associated. We started this project in 1990. That time polio vaccine used to cost us 200 rupees per dose, and the packing was such that at a time 10 shots could be given. So what several hospitals were doing, they were asking newborns or that group which has to be vaccinated to come on a particular day of the week. So they were trying to ensure that once they open the vial, it should be given to all 10 in a go without wasting time. And quite costly. But when we started producing it in India, and thanks to Russia, Singapore, and some other company which helped us in development of in the production of this vaccine in India, once we started in-house production, we could launch pulse polio campaign. Today, a polio vaccine cost us, but it has helped us in launching such program like pulse polio. And today we are happy that India is out of polio grip. So this is how we would like other program also to go, and we would be targeting other affordable healthcare systems. And we are looking not only on medicines but also on biomedical devices to be affordable. Thank you.
So thank you so much, sir. The last question we have from the participant, he's asking that very recently we all came to know about Science Society Setu for Atmanirbhar Bharat program of TST. Sir, if you can please give some shadow on this.
You know, fruits of science and technology should reach to the society app. What we are doing in the researchers, what we are talking on different platform, and then the fruits reaching to the society. So what we are trying to do through this Atmanirbhar Setu, we would like to connect that whatever your results, research results are there, they should be converted into a product providing solution to our own society at a much faster rate and at a much economy in terms of cost. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That's all from the QA session. Over to you, Dr. Chore, sir.
Thank you, Arpit. And I must very much thank to Dr. S.K. Varsne, sir, for giving your very important time. And I also, on behalf of our chairman of this particular e-refresher course, Dr. Ashok Pandey, sir, who has given your name to us, that invite Dr. S.K. Varsne, sir. He will definitely fulfill your demand. Sir, I think you already fulfilled our all demands, and all the participants have been benefited from your lecture. Thank you very much for being with us, sir, and in the future,
Welcome.
kindly guide us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, whenever you
very
feel like, and if any of you has any query on international cooperation, you are most welcome to send me an email.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. So now we are moving towards our next speaker of the eminence, and Dr. Sangeeta Srivastava ma'am is also with us. She is Executive Director at Godavari Biorefineries Limited at Mumbai. I'm just reading her brief profile. She is having all education from University of Mumbai, MSc, MPhil, PhD in Organic Chemistry. After that, she joined GM as GM Corporate R&D at Godavari Biorefineries Limited in the year 1994, and since that she is working on various capacity there, and she's having more than 30 years of experience in Godavari Biorefineries Limited. So we have just taken this opportunity because Dr. Ashok Pandey sir has given us her name, that she will definitely guide you regarding all the corporate and all the industrial opportunities related with biochemical and biotech and biopharma related opportunities in the industry. So we have found her, and now we would like to invite Dr. Sangeeta Srivastava ma'am to guide us on various aspects or opportunities related in industrial area related with biotechnology. So now I'm handing over the mic to Dr. Sangeeta ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kamlesh. Thank you. Yeah, it was very nice insight from Dr. Varsne about various science program, and so a lot of learning for all of us. And surely, like, I would try to take it towards area. So I would also like to thank the organizer team and also Dr. Ashok Pandey for making me part of this very innovative workshop. So that's really a great effort. Today we are actually in a very different era where I think none of us had thought that something like this is going to be the situation. But surely look at the challenges we are today have overcome it, and then we are talking to so many people together without even traveling. So for the students, think about how much carbon footprint we have saved. It's like look at what this challenge has taught us. So we have saved on carbon emission. The current challenges has given us so many opportunity which we have to look around actually. So it's not like we had some kind of menu card available for us to come out of this challenge. So I would be very happy to share my knowledge and experience in the field, specifically industry point of view. I also know if I keep on talking for a long time and just like since we are not physically present, we don't see each other with the participant. So it may become a little boring. So I would prefer to spend more time on Q&A so that it can be benefited. Because today what I'm sharing it is only what I could think of. But when the students start asking, maybe I could get more value addition there. Just to relate with the students of AKS University, I also belong to MP and I have done my education from MP. So my MPhil was done from Rani Durgavati University, Jabalpur, and I was going through the AKS University website and I realized this is a completely very different and innovative place where I think founders have thought about how the education and the actual use of education has to be brought together, and your objective, think global and act local, is today being talked about. So that's really interesting. So we all are in the challenging stage of life, especially all the young ones, young students. It throws a greater opportunities. Just look around, find how quickly solutions of unknown challenges can be arranged. In my talk, I will give some general information about the opportunities in the field of biotechnology. So I'll just try to share my screen. Okay. So give me a moment. Did not try. I did try sharing. So can you see the screen?
Yeah, it's here, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I took a little time. So my first slide is basically talks about what we do. So you can see one side you have sugarcane fields where it is like a biomass, and then other side you see all those factories and the power plant. So this is like completely like conversion of biomass into the food, like chemicals and power in the area. So that's what like is being done by the company where I work today. Right? Now, all of us know about these two Nobel laureates. They specifically got their Nobel Prize on the subject chemistry. So you can think of why I'm putting them here is basically, no, we know that the Nobel Prize was given for the CRISPR. So that's kind of connected with biology. So now the biotechnology is, all of you know about it, is practically is science of living organism, and then you're combining with different technologies. chemistry, physics, and all engineering aspects of generating and making equipments and making devices all become part of biotechnology. So it's not kind of a limited option now. It covers a very wide scope of subjects which can be part of biotechnology. The use of technology in the manipulation of living organisms to be practical. But now what happens is now even this scope has to be broadened. The definition which is biotechnology is now much more vaster than what is being provided. So this basically exploits the potential that nature provides to the benefit of mankind. So we have been working towards various subjects. So this is classical coverage of different subjects like macrobiology, biochemistry, food, biotechnology. So why I'm putting them all here is basically when we look at around us, the industry, these are the different industries. Like when you look at microbiology, specific areas where the scientists are working is developing vaccine, like analyzing virus, bacteria. Then when you come to biochemistry, so then you study the chemical processes within the relating of living organism. Now, even today, it is being thought about that we can develop the factories inside the cells because so many chemical reactions happening inside the cells, which can be also reproduced and design and make a specific chemical which is required. So it's like the subject vastness is enormous. So you can study the processes such as respiration, metabolism. Everywhere you have chain of chemical reactions which can be done outside and which can be like very tailor-made. The food biotechnology is another very vast area where which deals with making a safe and food. Now, this food industry is in the current scenario has given a lot of opportunity for the people who are working in the a lot of innovation, even right from preserving, making, delivering. So this delivering mechanism, which was not thought about earlier, has to be thought about is like how do you have a safe delivery of safe food to the people so that they're not infected. So the challenges at different times for different industry are very different, but the solutions can be really found if we have our science in place. Genetics, all of you have studied different topics of genetics in your course. So this is study of DNA, which helps us finally devising as various RT-PCR is one of this, which is happening today for analyzing our like coronavirus with RT-PCR, which is a gold standard test for us. So this was quickly done. So this was a challenge and there was an opportunity for developing various kits. Where things are still being done, we also need a very quick test, which are more selective than what today's tests are. So the opportunity is in each area. Environmental biotechnology is also very necessary part of the industrial growth because industry cannot function if we don't take care of the environment around us. So the biogas digestion, bioremediation, wastewater treatment, environmental cleanup, biofertilizer, biopesticide. So these are all part of like biotechnology where you design a bug which can work on a specific surface and also like then you do bioremediation using plant or you're using microbes. Then you do wastewater treatment, either microbes or chemicals or a mix of it. Then you have biofertilizer, biopesticides. So it is a lot many things in each topic. Then you have biotechnology. Again, this is plant and tissue culture. Then genetic engineering in plant, developing resistance in plant against insects. So improving nutrition value, which is very essential. And probably we will have something which is like not getting infected by viruses, and so these opportunities are enormous. Now, when you say animal biotech, is biotechnology where you can have animals which are more healthy. You can have biofarming, identification of disease, cause, and cure. So, like all vaccine development, the animal biotechnology is a very essential part. So, whenever we are working on this any technology, it's not specific to biotechnology. IPR plays a major role. So I'm very sure you will have in your curriculum IPR as one of the topic or maybe the subject where you know how do you protect your rights, how do you do like trade secret, copyright, trademark, industrial. So there is an opportunity for you to first learn your subject, then how do you protect those innovation which come out, and how do you make it industrial applicable, and how do you make money at the end of it. So you basically promote creativity and innovation, financial incentives, and morality you work on. Then bioinformatics is a big thing, is coming upcoming field where you will work on data mining. Even in future, it will help. This data will help for personalized medicine. So each of these topics have enormous scope. Just to give a kind of a glimpse, this biotech industry in India is basically has grown five-folds in last 5 years, three-folds in last 5 years. Now, why this is like, if you read a lot of literature of biotech companies, you will also find there are many companies started and sometime they had to close down. So you have all the stories in the arena, but it's like kind of right time, right topic, right subject, and you were there. But yeah, there are a lot of things where you started early, then the things have to close down. But this biotech industry, the growth is providing employment opportunity along with significant contribution to India's GDP. So first company, all of you must be knowing whenever you study biotech, biocon is like which comes in everybody's mind. This company started in 1978 and they were producing industrial enzyme. But today, if you look at their website and you find that they've expanded to various scopes, and they're also doing biotherapeutics, they're doing insulin, they're making a lot of biochemicals, bioproducts, and then you also talk about the Center of Cellular Molecular Biology was established in 1981. So before that, Biocon was and then they're dealing with the RD and technology. It is one of the most prestigious research institutes today. And then DBT, all other things being already covered by Sir earlier. So these the government initiatives, BIREC is actually promoting a lot of biotech startups, SMEs. So once you like kind of finish your work, or if you have some projects while you're doing your masters and PhDs, you could also be part of BIREC projects. And then later on, they also support startups, SMEs. They also have SEZ. There are a lot of PPE projects between DBT and various industries, which Sir also talked about. CIPRI funds early stage research by DBT. Biotech industry partnership programs are there. So there are a lot of opportunity when you decide that you want to get into this area of and also to keep in mind when you're working in biotech sector is there is a regulatory framework within the country where it works on all of us know when we're dealing with microbes and biomicrobes, we have to deal with safety. So if you're modifying your organism, you must have Institutional Safety Committee, and then you have RCGM, then you have different committees which are coming under the Government of India, Ministry of Science and Technology. So do take appropriate, I think maybe it's been taught to you as well with the safety standards of all the sector? If not, then it should be included because it's very essential when you get into the industry and the like your startups. You must be aware of all the regulatory framework of this sector. Just to sum up, like what is India's role in global biotechnology market? We can say why India is lucrative. So we always say the excellent network of research laboratories. So we have so many labs which are interconnected, and the areas where they're working has been also discussed the common platform. So we have very developed based industries like the pharma industry, which needs biotech students, and there are various other food and food industry, then chemical industry, and we also have rich biodiversity, which actually gives us the feedstock which is required for generating our products. And we also have extensive clinical trials opportunities in the country. We also have trained manpower and knowledge base. Now, we also have infrastructure advantage. We have 40 National Research Institute, 300 life science colleges, 120 medical colleges. The numbers are just to give you, it's not the number to be quoted, it's just to give a kind of idea. So there is so much available in the country. We also have strength of from new drug to the bioinformatics, stem cell research, DNA technology, all is being done in the country in a quite a large scale. So where all places where you can get job opportunities? Teaching, research, you can get into the biopharmaceutical company, then you can do food processing industry, then you can also go in bioprocessing industry. I think then agriculture sector is another thing, and also entrepreneurship. So you can have your own industry which supports the larger industry or areas. So global biotechnology market is huge. It's just giving you kind of a number. So it's like if you know CAGR is 19 to 25, it's going to be 8.3%, which tells us that this is the industry which is growing very, very. So when the industry grows fast, you can understand it requires a very well-trained manpower, which can help industry in taking all the challenges which are going to be there. Global industry coverage. So biotechnology market covers applications, it covers technology. So you have biopharmacy, bioservice, bioagriculture, bioindustry, bioinformatics. So just for an example, you say bioindustry. So what is the bioindustry? So bioindustry becomes again is like if I am dealing with any natural product, like maybe it is biomass, microorganism, or which is basically natural resource, and make a product out of it. So this becomes bioindustry. Now, then for these things, we require reagents technologies where fermentation, tissue engineering, PCR, nanobiotech, chromatography, which is common for most of the industries, DNA sequencing, cell-based assays, and others. So these are the global industry coverage, and this is being done throughout the world. So nothing is like, so you have the whole world at your kind of is available for you to explore. No restriction around. This is a very, very crowded slide. Just wanted to highlight the number here as just some of the numbers which are quoted in the various companies' websites. So United USA accounts for more than 240,000 jobs in the life science field. So this gives you an idea how important is the sector, and there are so many companies, you name them. Like you can also think of the companies who were only making chemicals few years back. It's like if you look at Germany, which Bayer AG was a chemical company, but today now they are in a bio space. So everybody who is going to be like who's making chemicals or food or anything, now they are in bio. France, very small country, has 99,000 people working in biopharma. So this is just to give you kind of a number. So there are a lot of scope in various parts of the world where you can get job opportunities. Now, I think some of those whom I may put in here are your sponsor of the event as well. So you know the people who are already into the space. From India, Biocon is the biggest. Bharat Serum is working in so much. Everybody's reading about them in the newspaper nowadays because they're working on the current vaccine development, and there are many other countries. And then you have a lot of multinationals which are also in India, and they are doing the working on the space. So maybe purification till environment till product of production. Now, so some areas which I could specify where you can innovate is like opportunity of innovation in agriculture and healthcare specifically. Vaccine is one field where a lot of things are happening today, and there are a lot of opportunity for developing various types of vaccines. Bioactives, therapeutic protein. This is also an area where a lot of work is being done, and India can cash its expertise because we have a lot of developed a lot of infrastructure for our research as well as taking the research to the next level. And it can be fabrication of diagnostic protein chips, a promising area for the investment, stem cell research, cell engineering, and cell-based therapeutics. And agriculture sector is another area which has a vast opportunity, like hybrid seeds, GM seeds represents new business opportunities in India based on yield improvement, because food is like we have land limited. We have a number of people who are increasing in our different ratios where we cannot increase our land. So this is a sector where we have to innovate to feed our future generation, current and future both, and also provide nutrition which is required by each one. And this sector is growing 10 to 15% growth rate. So India, this is amazing place to be. So like cotton is leading the market, like accounting for 45% share. India hybrid seed industry. So that's like enormous area where you can explore. And when any sector grows, intellectual property is bound to grow with that. So number of patents coming in this area, and also there is kind of a, which I did not put it here, is NBA, it's a National Biodiversity Board, which controls the use of biomass which is specific to the country. Whenever we are using it and we are using it for other part of the world, NBA takes care that our biodiversity is not being like misused. So NBA is a body which takes care of utilization of biodiversity of the country. So whenever you're filing a patent which deals with natural material, you have to take permission. Now, another area is bioservice sector. Just like you have a lot of companies like CROs, like GVK Pharma, Jubilant Biosciences, they all are working on developing various bio products. They could be biopharmaceutical and bioactives. Biopharmaceuticals, a lot of programs were approved in 2017, which just gives you an idea how government is taking it, developing a particular sector to, and by developing those particular sector, it is providing the necessary items in the country without importing them. So we need to like kind of provide local materials for our people here. The manufacturing, we have a lot of manufacturing being done in India, where a lot of immunological plants are coming up. New vaccine manufacturing facilities in Pondicherry and other areas are getting developed. There are like there are a lot of small molecule success stories if you read them. So there are a lot of things happening. So when you do manufacturing, you have all line of from chemistry to biology to like synthesis, analytical, all the infrastructure will be required, and the people experts in these fields will be required for that. Bioinformatics, again, this the convergence of the life science and with information technology is creating a particular opportunity for India. So anyway, India is very good in IT as well. So this is kind of merging these two things together. So advent of low cost whole genome sequencing is happening. So this is kind of creating a complete database. This database will be further used in future by each companies like pharma companies developing further products. Now, some of the success stories I would like to re-emphasize here is, which is not all, it's just few, to just give you a few examples. So, Biocon, an early mover in the global biotech market, was incorporated in 1978, one of the world's largest producer of statin and immunosuppressant today. Started with enzyme, but today they are into the products. In 2011, they launched Insufen, a convenient and affordable reusable insulin delivery device. So it's like making the product and then making the device. So you could imagine the type of manpower which was utilized for converting enzyme company to a company which delivers the device. Then its market cap has increased. It is partnered with Advanex cancer immunotherapy as well. So the area, like you could start from enzyme, but you can go to immunotherapy. That's the journey which I wanted to just show. The Serum Institute of India, like gaining global rounds, started operation with manufacturing of tetanus and toxin, followed by many other tetanus products in 1967. Commenced export of vaccine to UN agencies. Just imagine that. And in 94, 2000. Serum Institute sold around 1.3 billion vaccines doses in 2015. So these are the few success stories. Now, like with the success story, I just would like to add on a few example of my own company, what we are doing today, and where are we. So the slide, so a few slides on the place where I'm working is what are we doing and what are we doing differently. So Godavari Biorefinery is a company which is a sugarcane-based biorefinery. We basically convert sugarcane into various products. So, like when you crush sugarcane, you get juice, you get molasses, you get bagasse and trash. These are converted to various types of products. What are we doing here is, so we are like we provide farm inputs. So our journey starts from providing farm inputs to the farmers, which is like seed, fertilizer, and other aspects. So this is all bio thing, and then you get sugarcane. Then after sugarcane crushing in the mill, you get juice, which is converted. You get it sugar from juice, and after you crystallize sugar, you get molasses as a byproduct. This molasses is converted into the rectified spirit, which goes into various grades of ethanol and also converted into chemicals, which is acetaldehyde, which goes into various derivatives of this field. And then when you're making your rectified spirit, you also have the waste which can be used for generating biogas. When you get molasses after crystallization of sugar, you also have press mud at the bottom, which can be, we extract sugarcane wax from the press mud, and then the press mud is used as a biofertilizer. And the other part, which is solid material after removing juice, is bagasse, which is used mainly for electricity generation, and we are also using them for various chemical products as well as biocomposites, which are like products which are used by using bagasse. So what we do is we get sugarcane and we convert each part of sugarcane into the products which are of industrial application. Just to sum up, it's like company is started manufacturing 1939. It's a leading manufacturer of sugar, ethanol, organic chemicals, renewable power, biofertilizer. One of the largest sugar producer in India, largest single location processor of sugar in India, with sugarcane crushing of 15,000 tons per day cane crushing. We are pioneer in the production of ethanol and ethanol-based chemicals. We are also part of biofuel government of India, providing ethanol for fuel blending. One of the largest producer of ethanol in all India. We have around 2,000 plus employees. We have 2 manufacturing locations, 5 offices, and we also have global presence. And the area of research which we work on is the product derived from feedstock, molasses, sugar paste, cellulose derivatives, products derived from biotransformation, so fermentation of sugar to chemicals, products for flavor and fragrance industry. We make a lot of aldehyde derivatives. Thank you so much. So I leave it open for the students to ask me as many questions. Sorry, I have not taken more time.
No, thank you very much, ma'am, for this particular precise lecture. And I think sure. I have, yeah. I also learned some new things from you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So, Arpit, can we take a few questions for ma'am so that Q&A session may be conducted? Yeah.
Yes, sir. We have some questions from ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. The questions we have from the participants. The first question is, how recent developments in mushroom cultivation becomes an economical and scientific approach?
Okay. So I think this is again an area where a lot of work is being already done. So I will not be able to answer specific to this because I don't look at this area sector as such. But as I know, overall, that's a lot of new technologies have been used for cultivating mushroom. But the specific things can be shared after, like maybe one-to-one. But I have no much information.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next question we have. A participant is asking that what regulatory framework is designed for women who work in the field of life sciences?
Regulations are same for each one of us. As a citizen of like India, all of us are governed by similar regulations. There are no specific regulations, but there are some kind of benefits provided to women entrepreneurs and maybe scientists. But the regulation-wise, it's same for everybody, all of us.
Thank you so much.
Did I answer the same? Answered it properly? Or did it answer my the question of participant?
Sorry, ma'am. If you can repeat once again.
No, did I answer it properly? That's what I was asking.
Yes. Thank you. So the next question we have: how academia and industry collaborations are generating new jobs for the future students in the field of biotech?
Yeah, so I think you heard presentation where we talked about in academia and industry collaboration. So industry this was more to the institutional and academia collaboration which we talked about. But when you look at biotechnology mission, where they are talking to supporting all the individuals, and also academia are part of those technology development. So there are a lot of initiatives are there which are promoting industry and academia partnership, and it's happening, but it's not as big as it is in the western part of the world, but it is happening here itself, because it is very critical. If we do not take industry in, or academia does not talk to industry, we will not be able to get fruitful results. It's very critical and important, and it's been happening in various fronts. The government is initiating, industries are initiating, so it's participation.
So thank you so much, ma'am. That's all from the QA session. Over to you, Dr. Charles. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for being with us. And I must thank you from our course chairman, Dr. Ashok Pandey sir also. So I will also
Yeah,
thank
also.
you a lot, ma'am, and for guiding us in many ways. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Now we are moving towards our next talk. Uh, we have our third eminent speaker, Dr. Vivek Moria. Basically, he is an entrepreneur right now, and he is working as a consultant, industrial and agricultural biotechnology. And we can say he is an basically a academician and also an you can say entrepreneur. And I think he is jam of many things you can say. So I'm just reading his profile and I have seen and I am surprised at how he is managing so many things like that. So he's just starting his career in Inha University, Korea, as an assistant professor, where he has worked as for 10 years in the university at South Korea, and after that he has completed postdoc from South Korea itself. Then after this particular work, he is working as a consultant and industrial and agricultural biotechnology expert, and right now he's self-employed, and now he's working as CEO in a company that is Aditya Biotech Limited at Lucknow, and he's also acting as an entrepreneur and also guiding people how can we start our own career as a businessman or as a new product developer so that we can generate employment for others. So hopefully we will learn so many new things, and he will definitely encourage us in many ways so that we can start our own entrepreneurship or any venture for our future. So now I would like to invite Dr. Vivek Moria and to start his talk. Dr. Vivek, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Kamlesh, and it's really a privilege to speak, especially teachers who will, you can say, save our country. And you say that how I'm managing this. Basically, I'm not managing this. These are the managing myself. Uh, because I have been trained by Professor Ashok Pandey, and he have lot of influence. You can say grooming my career as well as personality. So that's why I'm able to manage all the things. The most important thing which I, you can say, find during my journey that turning from academician to industrialist, it's really a tough job. Especially when we speak about the institute, or you can say, when I am studying as MSc Biotech in Europe University, later on completed my PhD and then go for the postdoc. And obviously during this, you can say transition, I personally feel that if we are talking about the industry is nothing. It's a kind of the ecosystem. An ecosystem have various components. Let's consider this industry in India. In this case, it will be very important to understand that in our country, the requirement is highly diverse. And whenever we are speaking about the product can't be uniform. Just for example, right now we are working in two domains. One is natural products, another one is you can say agriculture. So we found that the agriculture itself have a lot of opportunity at you can say micro to mini to macro level. Unfortunately, you can say students and they are not in that way that students have to come and start their own industry. There are two problems. Number one, that students are not, you can say, focused to start their industry. The second one, they don't know what kind of the government support as well as you can say industrial support available right now. As you, I mean, you have planned this lecture very well. That first Dr. Vashne and after that Dr. both have, you can say, make a foundation lecture. I will not consider anything about the academia. So obviously, I mean, I want to keep myself just to, you can say, global biotechnological competitiveness and opportunity for the Indian brain to occupy their space as an entrepreneur or technologist. I'm not saying that we have to stop go to in academia. We have to go to stop into you can say research, the fundamental research as well as you can say basic teaching. Both are very important. Along with that, we have to also you have to we have to create an environment by which we can create more and more product oriented research. So product oriented research means what? Sometimes we think that the cancer drug is only product. So sometimes we think that the cancer drug is only product, but unfortunately, no, it's not only product. And if we are moving, you can say towards the biotechnology, you know that job versus boss is very important. Let's consider the science. The science, when we say the science is social science, abstract science, natural science, physical science, and biological science. However, once we are talking about the biotechnology none of the all these you can say science. And basically, in case of the biotechnology, the science is not important, while the technology and innovation is more important. Innovation is basically to find out any opportunity. I mean, innovation is not like you have to do any research. Innovation means if you are getting opportunity to, you can say, earn money and provide, you can create the wealth of the society as well as individual. So that will be innovation. And innovation is very important for, you can say, developing any candidate into entrepreneur. However, today I'm just, you can say, focus myself, mainly focus is health biotechnology. Right now, you know very well that the corona pandemic is going on. And during this corona pandemic, it was unfortunate that the entire economy of the country is stuck, as well as you can say, because of the this economical stoppage, or you can say blockage. Lot of people they are get you can say unemployed, as well as they are not getting you can say opportunity to get job in near future. So whenever we are looking for the biotechnology sector, the biotechnology is very vast, including from the food to you can say sector. uh, just a minute. Sorry, it was important. So
Please BV words. Uh,
now coming to the important sector, that food and agriculture biotechnology,
Excuse
which
me,
helping to feed.
Dr. Vivek.
It also include plant biotechnology as well as animal biotechnology, and might be you know very well that the plant
Dr.
biotechnology
Vivek
is
Moria, sir.
yeah.
Sir, your slides are not visible. Your video is off. Kindly please switch on that.
It's all.
Sir, I don't know. It's just a technical error.
Is it okay?
Slides are actually the slides are visible. Just sir, minimize that particular blue jeans window from that yellow icon because it is coming over the slides. So just Yes, yes, you are good to go, sir.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay, sir. If it is possible, then just make the slides on the full screen. I think it's Mac. So just take the slides on the full screen, sir. Yes, sir. Now you are good to go, sir. It's looking good.
Okay, so I was speaking about the health biotechnology, and you know that the health biotechnology is basically, you can say, working on one principle, that how we can improve the quality of life, and it also includes that well-being and the health is also concerned with the food, as well as the food is directly, you can say, related to agriculture biotechnology. Sometimes when we speak about the agriculture biotechnology, mostly the people, they get confused that only, you can say, plant biotechnology we have to talk. And in case of the plant biotechnology, we are talking about the insect resistance, herbicide resistance, or resistance to the environmental stress. While there are a lot of, you can say, things we can perform during the plant biotechnology implementation and R&D, which you know very well that the classical breeding is also a kind of the plant biotechnology, and where we are, you can say, producing the high yielding, as well as, you can say, better quality of the food product to nurture the, especially, you can say, nourish the our need. Then animal biotechnology, you know very well that the in spite of all debate that whether we have to eat, you can say, animals or not, but animal is still most important and cheapest source of the protein which is available right now. So most of the countries, including India also, that the protein source, I mean, especially protein source, we are dependent on animal directly or indirectly. Directly means we are, you can say, consuming the flesh or meat, as well as indirectly that we are consuming the milk products. And in both of the case, we need highly improved variety, and definitely this animal biotechnology is also opening a new kind of the R&D, that we can make the organ, we can generate the organ into pigs and etc. That we will discuss later. But the industrial and environmental biotechnology is that means a better way to making things. You know very well that right now everyone is talking about the sustainability. Sometimes there are debate is highly polarized. If you are sustainable, then how will promote the growth? So the growth is always come with a lot of, you can say, problems, and these problems are opportunity for the people who are studying in biotechnology domain. Do you know that the world's largest byproduct business is leather industry? If I say the leather industry, you know very well that the people say the tannery. I mean, the idea comes in your mind, the tannery. Here, the biotechnologist can play a very vital role, providing the green solution for the hide making process, or you can say hide processing, the making of the. So there are a lot of, you can say, mechanism by which we can use the engine for the dehairing, as well as, you can say, leather, you can say, processing using the enzymatic method instead of the chlorine or some kind of the chromium method. The second thing is that how this byproduct industry become very important. You know very well that the leather is very important industry for India, as well as lot of developing countries, where, you can say, the this livestock is a major source of the livelihood. If you continue about the in case of the industrial biotechnology, so the pollutant requires a proper, you can say, research to address it, and here the biotechnologists have lot of opportunity to develop their own idea to, you can say, resolve these problems, and obviously earn lot of money. There is nothing like a green process. We have to develop several processes by which the product must be made in a greener way. This is the concept, and obviously, then only we will achieve the sustainability. It's not like that there is anything like sustainability. Sustainability is a very complex word. That's why the material input, saving energy, reducing pollution, and biodegradable product, the four major domains we have to focus for the, you can say, especially for the building the students who can come and serve the industry. The bio-based economy is very important. That right now you know very well that during even the corona pandemic, only agriculture sector came with a hope with the 4% you can say average growth during the corona period even. So it means that the bio-based economy have lot of potential, but only thing is that we have to find out the innovation. Just for example, I mean, we are using yogurt. I mean, we don't have any, you can say, documented history that since what time we are using this yogurt for our, you can say, food purposes. But a company like Yakult come with new, you can say, idea that let allow the people to have a drinking product which is called Yakult. I mean, having the more than 10 million bacteria, which is very good for your tummy. So this is called innovation. Though the product is known, there is no, you can say, much R&D is required. Only bacillus or you can say organism you need, and that should be, you can say, provided into a very lovable kind of the flavor, and people are using it. The entire world they are using this yogurt very well. So the bio-based economy, we have to find out the way how we can, you can say, provide a product in a better way, as well as you can say optimized way. So another one is your synthetic biology. You know that they right now microorganisms have been able to produce lot of complex poly, they are easily biotransformation and etc. So that's why the synthetic biology is a new, you can say, window for the making product by greener way. And finally, that is the transforming industries and the world. So how the industry is transforming? As you know that there are a lot of, you can say, countries where the entire product is made by greener way. So greener way means they don't have the waste, and basically the waste is nothing. Every time when I'm taking lecture, so I say that the waste itself has the value, either negative value or positive value. You have to think whether this negative value can be converted into positive one. I mean, the best example is leather. You know very well that the meat industry is the main industry, while the leather is a byproduct industry, and right now this byproduct industry is bigger than meat industry. So we have to, you can say, consider. We have we have to consider this particular in a better way. And finally, the public policy involvement for the biotech innovation. So obviously, whatever we are doing, that must, I mean, this is the basic problem in our country that if suppose, you know, this is the problem, but this problem is never be documented and sent to the government. The government is to make, you can say, policies for us. So obviously, once the government is asking to provide the feedback as well as you can say write your ideas and comment, the academicians must, you can say, send their idea as well as their knowledge to government. It doesn't matter whether it has been implemented or not, but believe me, because I work with the government system, so I know that all the suggestions is carefully read, and if it is implementable, then definitely it will be included into further policy. So especially you can say the faculty who is listening this particular lecture, it is my request, whatever idea you have, please send it to, you can say, either state government or you can say central government, even municipal government, to provide that this might be a probable solution for, you can say, your for whatever problem we are facing. Now, the conversion of biotechnology into entrepreneurship, this is the biggest challenge in India, because most of the students, when I'm interacting with the student, I personally found that they are ideally, you can say, urged to have a job. They are job seekers instead of they, you can say, developing themselves as a leader. So it is our duty to convert them into a leader, because we don't need, you can say, much technician. We have enough technician in our country. Now the higher education student must be convert themselves as a leader to come, especially for the making the product in biotechnology. So once we talk about the so it is very important that the significance of the biotechnology entrepreneur is very important to contribute economy of the country. As you already listened, but she told that the sector have been almost greater than, you can say, obviously it has the 5 times more contribution in GDP, then why not more? So this is very important, and we have to come forward and train our students to become entrepreneur and make them leadership opportunity, I mean, you can say quality into them. The integration of the two distinctly different disciplines like biotechnology is kind of the technology, biotechnology entrepreneurship versus general entrepreneurship. The general entrepreneurship may be anything, and that's why lot of people they are converting themselves from technopreneur to general entrepreneurship. But we have a huge number of institutions, R&D center, and especially the human resource, which can be converted into technopreneur, agripreneur, biotechnology entrepreneur. And when we talk about the entrepreneurship, the most important thing which we have to train our students that time and money differences, then regulatory requirements and biological uncertainty factor. I'm very happy to see that a lot of universities they have included their curricula with the you can say regulatory requirements, especially in IPR. You can say one page IPR where they are talking about the regulatory requirement and entrepreneurship, property, and etc. But still, we have to talk about the how to calculate the uncertainty factor in biological domain. The another one is that entrepreneurship is very important. We have to understand that how we can develop our student into entrepreneur as well as you can say entrepreneur. So at the moment they will understand how biological principle can be easily exploited as well as you can say amalgamate with the another kind of the business as well as science to develop a new product. The product development is always you can say a focus for the consumer. So we have to know that who is our target consumer and we have to train the student, especially for the masters and PhD, who are coming to society and ready to serve the society. So they have to know that exact who are the, especially what kind of the consumer size we have and what kind of the consumer target we have. And after that, they will be easily able to, you can say, open their own business. The another one is you can say awareness of the unknown and unknowns. So this is very important that we have to train them that what kind of the unknown factors they have to know. And believe me that doing business is far you can say tough than doing a job. And this must be you can say kept in the mind of the student. So they must know that what is difference between entrepreneur, manager, or leader. And once they understand the difference between all three words, then definitely we will have a proper ecosystem to you can say develop the this biotechnology sector as a small MSME as well as you can say SME type of the be multidiscipline, translator, and ability. And most important, the last three lines are very important that having leadership wisdom and possessing good core values. And most important that having, you can say, having creative and imaginations. So these are the very important, you can say, criteria. So whenever I talk to students and scientists, I must say that we must have four, you can say, backgrounds. These four backgrounds, like one is the scientists, physicians, bioengineers, who come from the academic institutions, university, research student, research foundation, non-profit research organization. Uh, these are the important pillar for creation of the ecosystem for the entrepreneurship. It's very important. I mean, these who are coming from the academic institution, they have to, you can say, encourage the student to become, especially you can say, your uh, entrepreneurship. Then second one is the scientist, physician, bioengineer who come from within the life science industry, such as another biotechnology company. So, when I was in South Korea, I'm sharing one experience that about 30% faculty courses are offered from the industry person. That means they are the champion from the industry, like some CEO or senior manager. They are coming and taking their classes, and mostly the classes are run after you can say 6 or 7 evening. So obviously it will be easy for both of them. In this case, the person, students, they are easy. Easy to know that what industry basically want, and the industry is always changing their nature. If suppose, as you know that they right now we are coming out from the Corona period. Corona, lot of industries change their nature as well as you can say their product and most important the way of doing business. And this is very important. Like I mean, our academia is also changing that. Most of the academic institution is run on this laptop type of the system, or you can say online classes is going on. But in case of the industry, that we have to understand it's ever changing because it's highly dependent on market as well as consumer. So this is very important that we have to understand what kind of the demands from the biotechnology seniors like scientists, physicians, and bioengineers. Another thing is that the business person. Basically, once we are developing any product, it must be sold via businessmen. So business persons such as former executive in the life science, pharmaceuticals, or venture capital industries who is not in a you can say scientist or physician or bioengineer, they must be you can say interact to the students, and then only we will have the better human resource who can serve the country. And finally, that is core group of the individual that are spun off another life science organization within the industry. So obviously, these are the four you can say background we have in biotechnology entrepreneurship program. And mostly, if you just recall, then you will find that any person coming into the biotech, I mean, who is interacting with the student as an entrepreneur from the biotechnology sector, he or she must be from this particular core background. Now, the important thing is that how we can develop. I mean, let's go this cycle. This is available everywhere. It's a very famous, you can say, chart that academic scientist, physician without assistance, they take a lot of time. Then obviously there is a seed capital and also again take a time. Then they come with the stage of development. Now come to the industry point of view. So industry scientist and physician, they are taking less time because their training is like that. That's why I'm saying that a student must have interaction with the industry people. Otherwise, they will be not able to, you can say, survive. As you know that in case of the life science, it's very important. You have to know that in computer science, the average you can say time for success is 3 years, while in case of the life science, the average time for the success is 7 years. It has been already documented. You may find out that a lot of people have been done research on that. So 7 years is very important. Now, suppose a person is directly coming from the academia and start their own business. This 7 years will be very longer period, and definitely he will lose their courage, info, as well as you can say potential to sustain in this particular industry. While if it has been trained from the industry, so he take less time, the seed capital, and again the time will be shorter. It will be very much lower. Now come to the very important the business person. The business person have a lot of ability to understand the risk factor, and they know that how to calculate the risk. So obviously the time period will be lower and developmental stage will be earlier. Now come to the spin-off group from this industry who are directly, you can say, coming from one industry to another industry. They definitely don't take time because the training is very good. So if you wanna, you can say, develop a kind of the new thing. So obviously it is very important to have been trained enough. Then you can move to the another industry and you will only seed capital and little time. So developmental stage of the capital will be very early. Now, whenever I talk about the entrepreneurship, it's very important that there are certain driving forces which must be discussed. Now, one is your competitive landscape, then changing regulatory requirements and target market and forces, specific result and capabilities, intellectual property protection, and capital needs and training. See, in a country, I mean, our country, the capital is not a big challenge right now because there are a lot of government schemes are can aware if we have a good idea. So I'm not talking about that. Though the market is not, I mean, is still having lot of space for everyone. So competitive landscape design for the product into country, it will be not a you can say this is very right time for the candidate who are studying biotechnology and they can switch into industry. Then regulatory requirement, you know very well that government is always changing their policies for the benefit of the, you can say, industry as well as country person. Earlier, you know that India is one of the largest, you can say, I mean, the second most drug medicine producing kind of the country. But you know, biosimilar is a new field where we have to work a lot, and in the future, lot of blockbuster drugs like biologics, the patent will be expired. So obviously, it will be easy to produce and come into market. So it becomes like a generic, but it's not a generic because you have to go for the biosimilars. So India government already made a policy for the, you can say, biosimilar and their production as well as you can say marketing, and they make shake hand with some country like already you know that Professor Varshney have given knowledge about the BRIC Association, Science, Technology, Innovation Association. So obviously these things are there. Now come to the scientific capabilities. So obviously India is one of the largest, you can say, hub for the science and technology education. So the scientific capabilities are very good. But only problem with our scientific capabilities that industry and industry-oriented science is not going on much. So obviously the scientific results which we have that can't easily convert into product. So the industry as well as academia have to come together, and lot of person they are migrating from industry to academia and academics to industry. So this kind of the person can help very well for you can say developing a product for the country itself. And believe me, the product might be very small, but it can change lot of you can say life as well as you can say now, the capital need and competitive landscape, these all are, you can say, are defined everywhere. But what I'm trying to ask about here, that target market and forces. So, have you chosen the target market that have the great need for your product or you can say service? Just for example. Right now, we are striving, I mean, you can say a lot of medicine like vaccine for the COVID. And that's why the country is highly motivated to, because it is very important and government announced that about 30 crore people who are under high risk and they will get the first dose and they need two doses to be, you can say, protected from the COVID. So the companies who are, I mean, trying to, you can say, distribute or sell or you can say produce this kind of the vaccine, they have to come forward right now. And technology, if the technology is from the God free TOT, I mean, you can say TOT for different type of the companies, then only thing is that you have to come to better production capability and come for the market. The another one is that you have to find, for example, we are working for the agriculture biotechnology, so we know that where is our target consumers, and according to them, their complaint, their requirement, we are developing the product, and they are very happy to utilize that. The another is that is an educational awareness requirement that can be managed easily so that those in the target market will readily adopt and utilize your product. Here, that is very important. When we talk about the biotechnology, the management, I mean, knowledge about the management is very important. Uh, I'm very happy to see that the almost most of the you can say they have IPR, and I will be also happy if they will have one paper for the management of the product, because right now the management is most important in any kind of the industry. So the candidates who are coming out from the master's degree, for example, if you are looking for the current problem, then obviously you will be always a second or third tier of the company. But if you are looking for the future problem, then definitely you will be, you can say, I mean, whatever idea you have and you are trying to develop this into product, so it will take minimum 1 to 2 years. And after 1 to 2 years, the market will be changed. So you have to be very much, you can say, you can futuristic approach. So the second thing is that your decision on science and personal will impact the quality development and ultimately the likelihood of the research your product development goes. So your product is very important, and most important, you have to be smart enough to, especially you can say to protect your property, and this property is your intellectual. The basic why the China is, you can say, like the entire country act as a factory, because if you wanna produce or develop any kind of the product, you have to go via China. Do you know that they are filing more than 7 lakh patent every year? And as a country in India, we are not filing much patent. Mostly you can say 22, 25, between the 22 to 25,000 patents per year. And mostly that patents are IT related. The biotechnology related, we have to, you can say, focus that how we can make much and more patents. See, the patenting anything is always, I'm not saying that all patent will be converted into product, but if you have any idea and if it is patented, then definitely it will be always benefit our country, because if someone is willing to develop a product, we are the largest market, and if suppose you go with the PTC filing for the largest market, you can say China, then definitely in these case, the country will have huge revenue. And the history suggests that if you have ability to develop a patent related, you can say, property, so this will always help the economy, and most of the countries who have the patent, they have ruled entire world by their technology. Now, essential characteristics. So the teachers, as well as you can say mentors, can easily identify a person to whom we have to groom as a one for their work. You have to identify which students have they are very passionate for the work. I mean, what they are doing. Then another thing is that ability to communicate their vision to others. I mean, he must be extrovert, communicator. Then another thing is that an innate ability to inspire others to follow. That means he or she must have a leadership quality. Then being unafraid to take carefully calculated risk. And obviously, if you don't have ability to take risk, you can't make a change, as well as you can't be a is there. Then biological information storage, DNA versus silicon, it's a very, you can say, important area, and definitely the Indians have, you can say, no competition in this area because we already developed, you can say, infrastructure for IT sector, but nowadays we need to develop a better bio IT sector. So this will be, you can say, help our country very well for revenue generation as well as, you can say, employment generation and entrepreneur generation. Then improve environmental cleanup. This is the basic need, and the current government have a vision for the clean India, and definitely the cleaning is in public discourse. And nowadays, lot of people are thinking about the how to clean our place, country, and the government has already made a competition among you can say corporations. Every year they are releasing the new, you can say, ranking of the city. So municipal corporation is also willing new solution for making city clean, IT as well as you can say GPS as well as you can say bio solutions. So to improve the environment as well as city health. So these are the some new future area where our students can start their own company and get better revenue. So I'm just giving one idea about the, you can say, uh, that this statistics are is a little bit, you can say, 20 year earlier, that about 22.7 billion we are spending into healthcare, and you know that the pharma market is only 3.7, while the healthcare delivery market is 9, that is the 19. So you may see that this is very important. This is very important to, you can say, understand that how there is a scope, especially in healthcare delivery market. And once we say that the healthcare, let's see that direct employment. So healthcare have the direct employment according to 2001. It's a 4 million, while in case of the education that is 5.3 million. Education means from primary to, you can say, university. Don't get confused that it is only university part. While retail banking, power and railway, sometimes we think that the railway is the biggest one, but you know that the education is the largest one for providing the employment, direct employment. However, in case of the revenue wise, the medical sector is the highest one. But in case of the health will be completely change the scenario. And you know that the India is home of the Ayurveda and Siddha and Yoga. So officially, even the Ayurveda, Yoga, and Siddha, these three are highly effective mode of, you can say, that is the treatment. So here we are not only treating the patient, while we are also healing over there. So the Kerala, it has major contribution in the economy for the Ayurveda. Well, can we go with the, you can say, these alternative medicines, and how the IT sector can help it out? So now come to the important aspect that India is basically an emerging healthcare hub, and Indian pharmaceutical industry has practically achieved self-sufficiency and global recognition as a low-cost producer, high-quality bulk drug and formulation. So obviously this is our USP. Within this USP, we can easily achieve the goals. So once we talk about the achievements, so India has the second highest number of the qualified doctor in the world. This is not kind of the WhatsApp joke. It's a very important that we have the second highest number. While the clinical trial cost approximately $300 to $350 million in US, they cost only 25 million in India. So obviously our R&D, I mean, if we are spending our, you can say, infrastructure towards the R&D, then we can develop better. So however, any startup have idea, but they don't have this much of infrastructure to work with that. So if the department and institutions are ready to work with the startups, so obviously it will be easy to develop the product. India's huge population and their prevalence of a wide spectrum of the disease conditions after a wide patient's resource clinical trial. So that is the, I mean, obviously we always say that our biggest problem is population, and mostly the genius say that the population always provide a you can say better opportunity as a market as well as a resource. So we have to use our resource. Even the patients which we have, they provide a better, you can say, opportunity to develop the clinical trials and etc. And that's why within, you can say, very limited resources, we are now able to develop our own COVID vaccine. And we have also, you can say, done a lot of trials in under supervision of Indian Medical Association. Now, Indian companies are offering custom synthesis services at 30 to 50% cost saving compared to the global cost. That is the one another USP. And finally, that more than 7 lakh scientists and engineers, science and engineer graduate and 1,500 PhD qualified annually. So over, you can say, 50,000 scientists we have, and including, I mean, them professors also. Then investigational new drug cost about 100 to 150 million in US, but in India it only cost about 10 to 15 million. So this is a USP, but unfortunately we are still not leader because our HR pool which is coming out, they don't have hope. They are not looking scope as a entrepreneur. They are looking scope as a you can say get a job and work in a company or something like that. Now, what I'm trying to say here that is very important, that a changing face of Indian pharma is a way you can, I mean, write their own history. And that's why you may see that the MNC domestic competition and to MNC domestic collaboration. There are two things. One is co-marketing, new drug research, clinical trial, pharma IT, then in licensing and local research. So local research is very important because if we have the local solution, then only we can cater the local market. And our local market is still far bigger than lot of countries. And in India, that health sector is still, you can say, under supervision of the government. So obviously, the major procurement is done by the government. So I don't think that any company who is developing new drug, they have to fight with the market, because if it has been approved by the government of India, then definitely government of India allow these companies to sell their product into government body itself, and the government market itself a very huge market. And nowadays government marketing is very easy. You have to put your product on GEM with a competitive price, then no one can refuse buying of your drug if it is novel one. So that is very important, that from within 10 years we have changed entire thing, like that is very interesting, that 10% global industry is with us in 2010, and nowadays about 15% global industries. Now, going to global in biotechnology, you know very well that a lot of Indian companies, they went to global, and Biocon was the first enzyme company globally received ISO certification in 1993. And nowadays, a lot of biotechnology companies, Sun Pharma and which are the Indian one, and their you can say global recognition is far bigger than any other companies. Now, the advantage of the India, that is excellent network of research laboratories. As we know that most of the laboratories are highly coordinated, like you don't need to deal individual laboratory every time. That CSIR itself is coordinated by themselves, ICMR is coordinated by themselves, central universities, or you can say even in state universities, if you any state secretary is writing a letter to any state university, they will be happy to help the students for developing. And nowadays, I'm very happy to know that I as well as share that most of the universities, they open incubation center where any student can groom themselves as an entrepreneur. Trained manpower as well as you can say knowledge base is another USP of the India, and extensive clinical trial opportunity, that rich biodiversity and well developed base industries we have. Now, come to the another thing that is very important, that India moving up into value chain. In early like 1960, we have, you can say, facilities for management, then Unix based coding, that mainframe. Now you can say clientele server we have, that application development, package implementation, migration, re-engineering, maintenance. And nowadays you can see that after 2000, that maintenance, web, enhancing legacy, e-business as well as package implantation and network management, network security, embedded software, then consulting. There's so many things we are, you can say, increasing. And that's very important that government, what government say that the Indian healthcare products industry plays significant role in contributing patient care, public health, and Indian economy. It is highly diversified and innovative, that is capturing a wide range of technological advances. For the application in the medical field, there is a considerable potential for the growth in this knowledge-intensive sector, leading to the expenses of the manufacturing activities and job creation. Focusing on the industrial sector reflects government agendas by simulating innovation as means the maintain India's edge as a market leader in the science and technology that initiative. I took this particular from the Vision 2035 of the Government of India Niti Aayog. So you may see that we have the basic three domain. One is hospitals, another one is general practitioner, and finally that is community care. The community care is very important. You know that nowadays people say that the corona is now community transmission stage, but community care is very important. And see here, these are some basic equipment which we can make in India, and you know that within 1 month or 2 months. During, you can say, pandemic, the Indian manufacturing sector come with their potential, and they made lot of new tools which can provide indigenous solution for the fighting against the corona. And this is the tremendous, from the ventilator to, you can say, oximeter, all are made in India. So that's the biggest achievement which we can do. And our you can say student, they can think, if some people can do that, then why not them? I mean, the local market is always bigger, respective to their cities as well as, you can say, their area. So here, this is the medical thing. I mean, obviously, a lot of people, they are not from the medical background. Now, here one picture is very important. You can see this is one very interesting picture which I put over here. This is a sanitary napkin, and you know that the cost of the manufacturing unit of the sanitary napkin is very cheap. And if you are developing a proper hygienic sanitary napkin, it will be social service as well as, you can say, you can earn a lot of money. And there are a lot of startups I know very well who are, you can say, working with a lot of NGO as well as, you can say, along with the government for providing the sanitary napkin, which is not very, you can say, expensive, you can say, business, but it is very innovative idea to provide napkin, because napkin is very fluffy material and its transportation is very costly. If you are producing in local area, then obviously you can save the cost of the transportation, and it can, I mean, that will be your profit margin. So this is like that. Making a bandage, that is bandage making is another type of the thing. You can make app using the group, and they can make the app for the medical care and etc. So it's very important that the diversity of the medical technology and equipment is knowledge and engineering intensive. So high-tech hospital equipment like CT, MRI scanner, obviously it is high-end business. However, diagnostic, I mean, like camera pill, endoscope, that you can easily make it, isn't it? And telemedicine, telehealth. Here, the student who have the basic IT idea, they can easily, you can run their own telemedicine and telehealth company, and the patient can be easily monitored. The patient monitoring and biosensor system, then wearable device and wireless mobile technology, implants as well as, you can say, nerve simulator, pacemakers, drug delivery system, and disposable catheters and etc. So obviously these all can be made, and student can make their own company having the capital of the 50 lakh rupees, which can be easily get from the any government funding agency, and you can start your own business. And the licensing is nowadays very easy to get the license. If you are qualified enough, you can easily get the license. So there are some, this is the 3D printing type of the implant. You can have the 3D printer. The 3D printer comes, I mean, start from the 2 to 3 lakh to, you can say, goes up to 50 lakh. I mean, depending on your requirement, you can buy any 3D electronics, nano device, nanotech. Just lot of things is included in biotechnology, and the student can go in any of direction. So the future belongs to, you can say, that is very important, that future belongs to unreasonable one, that one who look forward, not backward. Who are the certainly only, you can say, uncertainty, and that's very important. If you are loving the uncertainty, if you are able to welcome the uncertainty, then definitely you will be the champion. And the point is not to, you can say, predict future, but to prepare for the future and save it. So scope is everywhere, and you know that the we all have the smartphone, and we are doing most of the thing on the smartphone. So healthcare, agriculture, pharma, education. Nowadays, education is also on you can say virtual world. So everything we have to be prepared, and definitely the medicine which we need, it must be customized. So instead of taking a lot of medicine, might be in future you need one tablet which can fix your DNA problem, and you will be happy enough to enjoy your life. The second thing is that you don't need to visit hospital for the normal OPD, while your doctor will be able to, you can say, check your entire condition, and it will be doctor will provide time to time prescription, and at your home your entire care will be there. So that's very important, that how we can converging the technology, so that information and computer technology, biotechnology, medical technology, engineering, electronics, and advanced manufacturing will be new medical technology. So on this note, I will say thank a lot to my team and farmers, because without them we are nothing. So whenever you are getting opportunity, you have to talk to farmers. They are the best teacher about the nature as well as, you can say, life, and you can easily develop lot of product by their feedback. And this is very important to acknowledge Dr. Kamlesh and friends, faculty, and students from AKS University, Team Aditya Biosciences, and Team AFCRC Nepal. So biotechnology is basically the this is the entire scenario will be changed. This is one area, because it's not possible to cover whole biotechnology as well in one lecture. However, I believe that this session must be, you can say, interactive. So if you ask much more questions, so I will be happy to share my experience from converting myself from academician to industrialist. And now I'm happy that we have, you can say, some very good people along with us, and with help of them, as well as, you can say, working in that way. I said, Hita Biosciences has successfully completed their 5 years in this particular field, and not only, you can say, in India, uh, but I am also, you can say, working for the Nepal. Uh, so we are development group, and I'm happy to share that within indigenous technology, both products are in market related to medical waste management. Through SS Major, we marketed and can say developed. And another thing is that we are just focusing for the very small problem, that this small solution make a small product and allow it to go into the market. There will be no Rambard solution for any problem. So you have to find out, this is the small one, let's make a small device and go for the market. And see, the improvisation will be always an you can say tool for you to improve your product, but it doesn't mean that you need 100% you can say efficient product. If your product efficiency is 60%, 70%, 80%, so it will be also good if there is no product into market. So launch your product, then keep improving it, and definitely you will achieve near to perfection. So this is the way to develop the product. And most important thing, you especially for the teachers, please induce or provoke the mind of the students to be entrepreneur instead of the, you can say, job seeker. And if they become entrepreneur and they have the ability to you can say develop themselves as a leader, so obviously we have many more industry, and then only the way to create the ecosystem. And if we have the ecosystem, then only we can survive and make the sustainability in business as well as, you can say, any domain, like biotechnology or bioengineering or any allied branch. So thank you so much. If you have any question, please.
Thank you, Dr. Vivek. Overall, it is an very uh, informative session, and I think many new ideas have been learned by all of us that how can we move ahead for any entrepreneurship venture. So I think there are audience have has put up some queries. Arpit?
Thank you, sir. So the question we have for you first, sir, how to communicate for investment for initiating the startups in the biotech field?
See, if you are looking for the investment is not a challenge in India right now because number one, the government support, number two, the SIDBI, number three, angel investors, number four, corporate investors. There are four type of the investment available right now. So it is your choice that where you want to go. The second thing is that if you have a better idea, there are a lot of you can say like Mahindra initiative, like Tata initiative, like Birla initiative. There are a lot of you can say big companies. They provide a certain you can say amount for the this startups. If your idea is you can say very attractive, and if you are able to defend it. The second thing is that if suppose you are not able to reach over there, then there are specialized companies are there. Like there is one company known as Avistar. So they have a very strong team in different area, and wherever I mean, suppose you submit your proposal, so obviously one person will be handling it, and he or she will be you can say groom the project, and then make sure that you're meeting with the lot of investors, and definitely some investor will be invest according to your need. The second thing is that the investment is always you can say project dependent. Just suppose, as I told, that if someone has only 5 lakh rupees to invest, then idea idea versus investment is always you can say have a balance. I mean, if your idea is very big, then your investment will be also bigger. However, you are trying to solve a small thing and make more money, then small investment is more than enough. Just for example, I say that the sanitary napkin. So sanitary napkin, I mean, if suppose a student is willing to add a small chip into sanitary napkin, which can speak about the microbial, just how you can say about the microbial infection to the that female community. So at the moment, it's very easy. The female can, based on the color, like the common, you can say, coding is there. Suppose he put a small chip and based on the common color coding, that patient will be identified, okay, whether he have this much of the bacteria or which kind of the bacteria, that's it. So this kind of the idea doesn't require much investment. The major investment is for the you can say making of the sanitary pad. And while the chip making, you can directly talk to government. Have one silicon company in Chandigarh. So if you send your idea, they will make the chip for you. They will customize, and it is not very expensive enough. There are a lot of things you can say get, and that's why you need an industrial mentor because sometimes you can't make everything. Your idea can be converted into business without investing much. And right now there are some very good initiative by government of India. They are providing 25 lakh soft loan to any person who is between 18 years to you can say 40 years. That is called Pradhan Mantri Swarojgar Yojana. In that case, you can get 25 lakh rupees for basic initiation. If you go with the SIDBI can provide you up to 1 crore rupees if you have been incubated into a recognized incubation center. So you can get that 1 crore rupees also. In that case, your you can say mother incubation institution like IIT or any university will be partner into your company also. So at that moment, you can get better amount. So investment is not a problem. Only thing is that you have to build your idea and how this idea will be, you can say, converted into product. The pathway must be defined, timeline must be defined, target market must be defined, and projected economy must be in your DPR, detailed project report. So you will get the fund. Fund is not an issue. And there are a lot of people who are happy to help you because people are willing to associate with the new startups. Once the startup will be grown, so obviously the revenue percentage will be very high. Any other question?
Thank you so much, sir. The next question is coming. Sir, how technology business incubators in India is supporting or funding the entrepreneurs?
See, most of the technology business incubators are tie up with this certain kind of the banks. Most of the cases, SIDBI is associated. However, if it is not, then they have a BioNest program where they have certain amount of the money which can be given to the this incubating company. And another thing is that if these two are not there, then if you are incubated, then you can directly get the loan from the Ministry of Small Industries. That is up to 1 crore. And another thing is that if you are having the another idea, then you can go with the that one district, one product scheme. There are a lot of schemes are there. Only thing, as I already say that in a presentation, if you want to be entrepreneur, you must be aware about the rule and regulation. So if you don't know the rule and regulation and government scheme, then obviously you will be not able to get the benefit. For example, if you are starting a business into Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, so at the moment the government, state government is supporting this startup very well. If you run 1 year or 2 years, then you will get some other incentive also. If you are starting, you can say business into IIT Kanpur Incubation Center or KAI in Hyderabad, Knowledge Incubation Park, Technology Park. So obviously these kind of the institutions have number one, mentor, number two, the industrial you can say ecosystem. There are a lot of small industries are there who are supporting each other by product as well as you can say services. And the second thing is that they have better you can say tie up with the banks because the bank is knowing very well if the IIT or any institution is involved whose team is monitoring that company. So the risk for the you can say loss is very minimal. So this is the another advantage. And if you are incubating yourself into incubator, then you will get the lot of equipment, you will get lot of facilities from the parent institute to work on that. So you don't need to buy. For example, if I need to go for the FPPLC for any protein, then FPPLC is very expensive equipment. And why I should buy this if I am incubated into IIT Kanpur? Then I ask to IIT Kanpur because you are my company, you are partner in my company, and I need this support. So they will say, okay, you have to go to this lab, and they will assign this lab, and you will get your result within you can say 1500 or 1000 rupees. You will get this. So 1000 rupees and 2 crore is entirely different. I mean, setting on 2 crore lab instead of the setting 2 crore lab, if you are getting all the benefit of the IIT, that will be much better. So that's why the universities incubator, departmental incubator, or you can say specific incubator center, they will always helping to the new entrepreneur by you can say infrastructure as well as you can say providing the financial assistance through the partner funding agency. That might be a government or that might be any banking or financial institution.
So that was highly technical, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That's all the questions we have for you in this QA session. Over to you, Dr. Chaudhary, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arpit, and thank you very much, Dr. Vivek Moria, sir. And you have given very nice insight in this particular area. And we are very much lucky that you are our, I can say you are our speaker because you have guided very well to all the audience and all the students in very nice manner. So thanks again, and thank you for being with us. And I also extend on the thanks on the behalf of Dr. Ashok Pandey, sir, for accepting our invitation. Thank you once again, sir. So now we are moving our next and last speaker of this particular workshop. And for this, I am inviting Dr. Devorishi Day. Dr. Devorishi Day is a AVP of SHRM from Biotechnologies Private Limited at Kolkata. Dr. Day, a food technologist, scientist, and educationist, and a social entrepreneur. He is also involved as a CEO of Smart Management Consultancy and Vedantic Organic Research Foundation. He has undergone extensive research on areas in food technology and sustainable agriculture. Dr. Devarushi is also a facilitator in United Nations flagship capacity building program UNCTAD Impretech, which works with governments to promote entrepreneurship as a way out of poverty, and he is a national level resource person for FASTEC FSSAI Government of India. So I am inviting you, sir, for delivering your this talk of eminence. Please, Dr. D. Mike is over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Chaure. I'm just wondering if you guys can see the video, but you can only see me. You can't see the board, right?
Yeah. Right now we are your slides
So
are not.
how do I show you the board? I mean,
Sir, you just see on the right corner from above side, fourth icon is
yes.
there. That is screen share option.
No, I want actually you to see the board. So if I do the
Yeah,
screen share, you won't be able to see the board. So basically the video, but usually what I do is I flip the camera so you can see. But here, unfortunately, I don't know what's happening. I can't. You
actually
can only see me.
actually internet connectivity is slow from your side. That's why the bandwidth
Okay.
is low. That's why video is not coming right now, sir. So
Oh my God.
that
Okay,
video
then
you are showing with the help of any website?
no, it's not a video per se. So see, most of my trainings are in the form of a classroom training. Okay. So what
Yeah.
happens is I do the board work live. So
Okay,
not a
sir.
problem, not a problem. Till we have this video coming up, we can do a little bit of screen sharing and we can work on that. All right. So
Okay,
let me see if
sir.
I'm able to share the screen.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, so I think it's coming now.
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah. You are presenting through mobile, sir?
Yes, I'm presenting through mobile.
Yeah, please rotate your screen.
Okay, just a second. Okay, so can you see this? The risk of nations?
Yeah, but screen is. Please, you
Okay,
have
so I
to
need to
rotate.
rotate the screen. Wait,
Yeah.
I rotate it. It will be larger. Yeah, is it okay now?
Now it's very fine, sir. Yeah, you can go ahead, sir.
Okay, so guys, whatever sir basically introduced me as, I am well known to most of my dear students as DD. Okay, so basically everybody kind of calls me DD in this industry. And with Satna, I also have quite a bit of affiliation with your food technology department. There are some of my students who have studied that and they are now doing very well in food technology. I guess Dr. Chaure, you have the food technology department also, no? In Satna?
Yeah, we have.
Right,
We
right.
have. Yeah.
You have one Abhishek Rajput. I don't know if he's still there with you all. So we used to be in good touch. He was my student and I sent him somewhere, I can't remember now.
Okay.
So I have a deep connection with, I won't say a very deep connection. I was always trying to establish a connection with Satna. So thankfully I'm here. And
Yes.
guys, as the only thing is, if I am not able to share the video, I have to think of something, because most of my presentations are in the form of drawing. So you see, basically, apart from whatever sir told you about me, I'm a little bit of an artist, and most of my presentations are in the form of cartoons and boardwork. अभी लग रहा है मुझे ऐसे कि मुझे सचिन तेंदुलकर और सौरव गांगुली के बाद मुझे बैटिंग करने के लिए भेजा गया, एंड डॉक्टर विवेक वाज फैंटास्टिक. आई थिंक ही हैज कवर्ड मोस्ट ऑफ द पॉइंट. तो उसके बाद जो मेरा टाइम आया, तो मुझे लगा कि ज्यादातर चीजें जो मैं बोलना चाहता था, डॉक्टर विवेक हैज ऑलरेडी कवर्ड दैट, एंड आई वाज लिसनिंग टू हिम. A very passionate entrepreneur also, I can understand, and it's amazing. So I will not take much time. I'll keep my ideas to you, and I'll keep it in short. I'm going to talk about the practicalities and the problems that a biotech entrepreneur faces in this industry, and where does biology or biotechnology stand. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about the rosy side of it. I'm definitely going to talk about the challenges that I have faced as an entrepreneur, and also being a part of the several advisory committees, the kind of mentality that I'm seeing with the people around us, which is worrying me as a scientist. I'm going to talk about that. So chances are I might not be very pleasing, but end of the day, I'm a person who's known for speaking the truth. And I believe, my dear students, you are the ones who are going to change this world. You are the people where the hope of India lies. And you are the people who are going to shape up this great country to its greatest height in the coming days. तो अगर आपके पास सच ना हो, और एक वैज्ञानिक के पास, एक साइंटिस्ट के पास अगर सच का शस्त्र ना हो, तो वो आगे नहीं बढ़ पाएगा. मैनिपुलेशन से कोई बड़ा साइंटिस्ट नहीं बना है. मैनिपुलेशन से कोई बड़ा आदमी कभी नहीं बन पाया है. एंड डॉक्टर विवेक वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट एथिक्स, सो आई विल स्टार्ट विद दैट, because biotechnology ke sath ethics is very closely knit. It is very closely associated. So you must understand that. So this is one of my favorite slides. It comes from I used to work with Dr. Warren Ford in Denver, where I did my PhD, and I used to make the presentations for Dr. Warren Ford. And whenever he would come to Southeast Asia, I would make his slides, and I'd make sure that I would always put this slide in his presentation. And there was a reason why I used to do that. Because you see, the world perceives biotechnology in different ways. If you look at me, 60% of my academics is biotechnology. And yet there are many areas where I feel that we need to relook into biotechnology. As a researcher, as a scientist, as an entrepreneur, I will say that my role in this industry has been mostly into the implementation, So if you search me on Google, you probably won't find too many awards. You also won't find too many papers against my name. But what you will see is a lot of activity being highlighted at the grassroots level, whether it is in agriculture, whether it is in food processing, whether it is in pharma, or whether it is in anything related to science. So, there is somebody whom I very closely idealize. I don't know if you all know him or not. His name is Carl Sagan. And I would request everybody to look up for Carl Sagan if you don't know him till now. He was, in fact, one of the best scientific communicators of his times. He was the one who made science very easy and available to people. And that is exactly what you, my dear students, will have to do in the coming times. Because, the reason why many people today fear science is because the people who deal with science, people like you, me, and everybody in this fraternity, we have a habit of making it very, very complicated. So unless science is communicated very smoothly to people, it will never be accepted mainstream. It will never be used, or it will never be useful to the common people. So the risk of nations, especially when I deal with food, and please understand the current scenario. Vivek might have spoken about the pharma part of it. So I'm going to talk a little and give you a little idea about the food part of it. Now, please understand, my dear students, the food wastage in India is roughly around 92,000 crores per annum. I repeat, 92,000 crores per annum. That is almost 40% of food produced is wasted. 190 million Indians, now this is one side, and the other side is 190 million Indians today, they are basically undernourished or malnourished, and this is not my data, this is a data published by UN. India is a home to 46.6 million stunted children, and this is according to the Global Nutrition Report of 2018. 50% of the under 5 children mortality is attached with undernutrition. And let me tell you, if India cuts post-harvest losses, over 5 crore people could be fed for a year at ₹50 per day. So you understand that the time bomb that we are sitting upon, it is not going to be a Midas touch, okay? Or rather, it is going to be a Midas touch in the coming times, when a lot of people will have a lot of money, quite a lot of people will have a lot of money. And what will happen is they will have nothing to eat and nothing to drink. So they can't eat or drink the currency. My dear biotechnologist, the world is calling for action. And how you get involved into this is very important. Because I'm sorry I can't show you my cartoons here. Otherwise, I thought I'll just draw it for you. So maybe I'll see if I can just, send to you later. Please understand, India is having 18% of the world's population and 4% of world's potable water. 80% of our total potable water consumption that happens is directly or indirectly consumed in agriculture. India is the third highest emitter of carbon. Sorry, one second. क्या हुआ? एक second यार. 1 second. So India is the world's third highest when it comes to the emission of carbon. I don't know how many of you have an idea about carbon footprint. Carbon footprint in a nutshell means by your daily activities, what is the percentage? Because of your daily activities, what is the percentage of carbon, or what is the amount of carbon that you are basically taking out from the Earth's crust, leading to the dismantling of the crust, which can have severe consequences, and definitely climate change. Now let us look at climate change. The other problem that this great country is going to face, along with the entire world, is the impact of climate change. It's very funny that global leaders in the world today, they're not focused on climate change. They usually run away when they are asked to talk about this. भाग जाते हैं, बात नहीं करना चाहते हैं. And I don't know what they're trying to hide, but the truth is that the climate change is happening. And scientists all over the world who are really concerned not only with filling their own pocket with money, but definitely with humanity, they are all trying to raise concerns on climate change. It is a fact that climate change will happen, and we cannot stop that. Nobody has been able to do that over the years, neither the dinosaurs nor we. But then, are we, or can we really mitigate the rate of climate change? That remains a question. Okay, so what do you mean by mitigation of the climate change? So, this is happening at a certain pace. We can only reduce that by taking the measures. Let me tell you, boys and girls, how things are going to be very difficult for people in the coming times. And you say, come on, Didi, you are just making us afraid. No, I am trying to bring out all the problems. Because remember, if you are able to understand where the problem is, it is the base from where you start providing solutions. And the world is looking for solution providers. The world does not want people who are like, in Bengali we say chokhe angul dada, a kind of a person who would sit in the local chai ka dukan and would, chat and say ki हाँ भैया देश में कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. देश में कुछ नहीं होता है भाई. देश में सब कुछ करना पड़ता है. And the world is for the doers. So if you think that you cannot do, it's very unfortunate. It is very important that you contribute in your own way. When we talk about entrepreneurship, when we talk about leadership, we don't talk only about, you don't talk about Apple, you don't talk about SpaceX only, okay? In Kerala Startup Mission, where I usually go and we have sessions there, I find many people coming and telling me, sir, there are dropouts who are doing extremely well. It's okay. But remember, you have to be very careful because outliers do not define a particular case. You cannot have outliers. So basically, Steve Jobs is an outlier, and Elon Musk is an outlier, or Bill Gates is an outlier. But the majority of the population must respect the fact that it is important to have degrees and certifications, and then after that, you need to venture into whatever you want to do. Because the preliminary at the primary level education that happens is very important. To understand, to contemplate what is going on around you. Your academics should not make you walk down with just mugging up and getting some CGPA points simply because some XYZ company is going to come and give you a job, seeing your CGPA only. I can tell you as a recruiter, the scenario for recruitment is changing. There are orthodox and traditional companies who see you as a cog in the wheel. They will definitely take you according to your roles and responsibilities in their companies. But when you come to startup venture like ours and many other people, even if you know them, I am very closely related to Aurobindo Pharma, so I work very closely with Dr. Sudesh on certain fronts of their recruitments. My friend is also there as the head of HR. And Dr. Sudesh, of course, is the director of HR. And we have a discussion often, even during the sessions also, where we talk about how we can define the new age leadership. When we talk about new age leadership, we don't want funky people coming and saying, you know what, I am this, I am that. No, we don't want lectures, man. We want you guys to perform. And therefore, it is very important that you select the idea or select the area of your operation. So coming back to the climate change that I was talking about, boys and girls, you'll be surprised to know that there is going to be a global rise in temperature by 1.5 degree to 2 degree by 2021. और अगर आपको ये लगता है कम ऑन सर 1.5-2 डिग्री में क्या होता है सर, वो तो रोज ही फ्लक्चुएट करता है. प्लीज डोंट इक्वेट दैट टू योर रेगुलर फ्लक्चुएशन. A global rise in temperature by 1.5 degree or 2 degree means that the Arctic ice is going to melt. If the Arctic ice is going to melt, there is going to be a rise of the water level all across the world. And guess what? That's not the only problem. The problem starts next. It is about migration. Just imagine if the coastal lines start sinking, how many people will start migrating? Now, with the land area decreasing, you see more and more people will be coming or hoarding to the same place. If the migration is within the same country, it might be a different thing. But just imagine if people start migrating from one country to the other, what the chaos will be created. It would lead to a lot of sex trafficking, it would lead to a lot of child trafficking, and lot of negative things which are plaguing our society and which is creating a real problem for the world leaders. It is only going to increase. And what is the reason for this? The reason is climate change. Now the problem is, how do I tackle the climate change? So, like as I said, I'm sorry I can't show you the video. Maybe some other day I'll have to take a session. How many of you here are aware of something called the equation of life? Do you know that the life, the fact that we are a biological living being can be expressed mathematically? How many of you know this? I'm sorry I can't write the equation here, so I won't be able to show you here. There is an equation of life. Equation of life for humans, equation of life for lower animals, if you look at the food chain, if you look at the ecological pyramid, at every level there is a mathematical representation and a mathematical equation of life. The point that I want to make is when I write climate change as a problem on the board, we biologists will see it in one way. The economists will see it in the other way. The mathematicians will see it in another way. The physicists and the chemists, they will see it in their own ways. And we all together have to contribute together. It's very important, together. Why together? You see, if I talk about food technology and, in one of Vivek's slide you have seen, he was saying that how biotechnology is the melting point. So why this melting point is important? Imagine that, when I talk to one of my core areas, definitely, as I said, is sustainable agriculture. First of all, most people in India are not living or they do not have the concept about sustainability. So what do you mean by being sustainable? What kind of a phony word is it? Is it just something to, just be happy about? Is it some kind of word that if I add to my products, people will pay more? Or there is a lot that can be done in the field of sustainability. Gentlemen and ladies, boys and girls, I work at the hardcore grassroots level, where I've been with farmers, I've been to their fields, I work with them non-stop, day in, day out. I have been to different parts of this country, okay, and it is not only sitting in Calcutta I'm talking about this. I have been, I think, apart from one or two states, I've worked in most of the states in India. Not gone for a joyride. So when I go there, when I meet the people, especially at the grassroots level, I find that most of their problems are remaining the same. So the point I wanted to drive here was that if we do not work in collaboration, why? Because, say for example, when I talk about sustainable agriculture, so then I tell them that, look, you are saying that this genetically modified high-yielding variety that you have made, we have seen that the water consumption or the water requirement in order to fund these seedlings is 3 times. And also, when I'm using a genetically modified seed to grow, a hybrid seed to grow, artificially modified, I'm seeing that the consumption of the fertilizer in order to support its growth is 3 times. So how, I understand my productivity is going up by 1 or 2 times, but end of the day, how am I going to balance the cost? So they will say, look, this is something which you'll have to talk to the plant physiologist. When I go to the plant physiologist and say, look, man, because of this chemicals being used into the system and the indiscriminate use of lethal, the unapproved chemicals in the field of agriculture, the plant physiology has weakened so much that the inherent immunity of the plant is destroyed. As a result of which, there is an increase in the pest attack of the crops. So then they will say, okay, pest is something which you need to talk to the entomologist. And as far as the physiology is concerned, I think you better talk to a plant physiologist and not to a botanist. When you talk to a plant physiologist, they will say, look, there are certain aspects of the soil in this, so you have to talk to a soil technologist or a soil scientist. When you go to a soil scientist and you say that, look, it is because of the quality of the soil that the productivity is affected, and the products also which we are receiving, these products are also not of good quality. He will say, look, my area is soil. I won't be able to talk about the post-harvest technology. Now, when you go to a post-harvest technologist and you tell him, look, man, this is not happening, okay? The products which are coming out, they are inefficient, and there's a lot to do on the nutrigenomics part. The nutrition content and the nutrition aspects of this particular fruit of yours is absolutely horrible. So they will say, look, man, I am not very sure of this. For this, you talk to the food technologist. So, end of the day, the entire science is divided in the name of specialization. I don't have a problem with specialization. I love specialization because it brings in more focus. But at some point of time, science have to amalgamate itself. Science have to get together. All the scientists have to get together. They have to form collaborative teams so that they can address issues and problems. Because I can tell you it is very, very difficult for one person, no matter how genius that person is, to address the issues that have been brought up by science. I am an ardent follower of Bhagavad Gita. Being an entrepreneur, my days, every day, my days doesn't go that well. There are days where I'm highly challenged and I feel down, I feel upset, and this is where I resort to Gita. So I understand from Bhagavan Shri Krishna saying that dharam karam nishchit karo, sunkar samay pukar, जग में आए किस लिए उस पर करो विचार. So it is very important, my dear students, that you understand what is your role as a scientist, what is your role as a technologist in this industry. Is it just complete your degree courses, go down, get a job, get married, good looking wife, bada gari, bada bangla? That's it. Many people are doing that. Or what is your role? How do you contribute? I'm not against Balagari, Sundar Bibi. No, I'm not against them. I'm just saying, but as a scientist, what are you doing? You need to understand. If you are happy, when you ask this question to yourself and from inside, you will get an answer. If you are happy, it's all right. No problem. Live that life. But if you're not happy, you need to find out what can you do. The average age a person gets a PhD in India is roughly around 33 to 35. So it's, and these PhD years are very difficult in India. It doesn't go well. But let me tell you, on the other side of those who are working in the industry, who are not doing a PhD, for them also the boat is rocking till 35 to 40. It's equally dangerous on the other side as well. There are a lot of challenges that people face. I'm a person who comes from a family where managing foods for 4 times a day was very difficult. So end of the day, when I completed all my studies, mostly on scholarships, and then I used to earn my own living from the age of 12, and from there building up a company with 30 odd people, and along with that focusing on SHRM, which is a highly technical oriented company. You look at the kind of manpower that we have here, it is very, very specialized. It wasn't easy. But I had it. And so the people in my team, my co-directors and my co-founders, all of them had the same dream. We dreamt that one day we will be able to use science to cure our own poverty, to kill our own poverty, to break the cycle of poverty. And also, at the same time, we will be able to usher the requirements, the scientific technical requirements of the nation. Okay? So science is our God. All right? And for all of us, scientists who are there and all technologists who are there, who is not a PhD, no problem. If you are on the path of science, definitely you will come across some miracle moments of yours which will usher you into thinking something new. For all of your reference, I think you seen this recent movie by Akshay Kumar, Robot 2.0, where he was shown the character of Pakshi Rajan. That was a fiction. But in real life, if you look at Pakshi Rajan, that is none other than our Salim Ali Bhai Sahab. So if you look at Salim Ali, he was not a zoologist. But the fact, he was observing. And this is very important, my dear students. As a scientist, if you don't observe, as an entrepreneur, if you don't observe, and there's a difference between observing and looking. Do you all agree to this? That there is a difference between observation and looking? You look at a certain thing and you observe a certain thing. There's a very big difference. So as a scientist, if your observation is poor, your hypothesis will be wrong. The experiments that you set up based on that hypothesis will be wrong, and definitely you will conclude wrongly. Unfortunately, in India, I have seen who are saying this is the way it works. As a scientist, as an entrepreneur, I can't guarantee that. If you think that a certain thing is working in a certain way and you make it very absolute, you say, no, this is the way it is only going to work. Science does not work that way. We make n number of mistakes. Every day a good scientist will make a lot of mistakes. My God, this is going wrong. This is going wrong. There's a scribble here. They'll cut their data. They'll throw this out. They'll throw some samples out. Some samples are so it's a messy life. Life is messy as a scientist. Life is messy as an entrepreneur too. Because the challenges are raw, fresh, and untraded before. But it's always good to listen to senior entrepreneurs, people who have been in the trade, who have faced the challenge. Just like it is very important to listen to scientists. Because if they are good people, they know how to talk, they'll definitely share where they have gone wrong, where they have gone right. And you pick it up from there. So biotechnology is one of the most controversial areas in science worldwide. As you know, that we have seen the good, bad, and ugly side of it. We have seen the good side of biotechnology in pharma, but then again, there are ethical issues. We have seen the good and bad side of biotechnology in agriculture, and there are challenges here as well. Now, usually my workshops that I do, they are very interactive. Usually the workshops that I do where everybody participates. I think this is one problem I'm having online, that I'm unable to see you. This is a new platform I'm using. Otherwise, if it were a Zoom, I could have used you in a better way. But I believe all of you are listening to me. And this is where we as biotechnologists, we need to think. The risk of nations. So you see, risk is something which people perceive as a threat. Oh my God, this is very risky. Oh my God, this is less risky. This is not risky at all. It is again based on our perception. For a very organized company, for a very orthodox company, if you go and tell them, sir, I think these are some of the trends in the market and these are the new areas that we are talking about. These are the new areas that we are talking about. We can try and work a little differently. We can work. Thank you. So we can try this a little differently or try that a little differently. Probably the orthodox company will not listen. No, this is too much of a risk. If you come to us startups and if you tell me, sir, can we do it the way these orthodox companies are doing, then we'll say, oh, come on, that is very old school. And we cannot get into that. So it is a matter of perspective. So risk is perceived by different people in different ways. But if you talk about the generic products of biotechnology, I have seen that this is how the world reacts. So in US, products are safe until proven risky. So they have this US FDA where they will check. And if you go by the norms, there is a very, very strict protocol. If you agree to that, only then it will be like you will be provided a certificate. In France, products are risky until proven safe. So France is very skeptical. France and entire EU, European Union, the people living there are very, very skeptical, and especially when it comes to Indian products. So in France, it is risky until proven safe. So basically, they're very skeptical on touching anything. It is only when they see that the necessary certificates are there, necessary trials have happened, necessary tests have happened, only then they will go about saying that it is not risky. In UK, products are risky even when proven safe. Okay, so UK buyers are very skeptical. They will talk to you 100 times before they finalize an order, before they agree to buy products from you, whether it is an agriculture product or whether it is a pharmaceutical product. Now let's come to our country, India. Products are safe even when proven risky. Now this is very, very interesting. India as a country is failing to understand the difference between fact and opinion. It is so disheartening that when scientists are putting out standard statements by saying, look, this is what we have understood by our years of research, n number of stupid people, they are gathering and shouting and saying, no, no, we understand science better than you do, and therefore we are not going to listen to you. And anyways, whatever you are saying is your opinion. No, that's not correct. Scientists and scientific forums like ICMR or ICRISAT or IISCs, IITs all over India. I have seen my students, my colleagues, day in, day out, we dedicate our lives for science. Science which can be used for the betterment of the society and not for the betterment of a selected few. Okay? And that is why most of the scientists that I've seen globally who has made an impact, made a difference, they have never patented their work. I don't know how many of you here have heard of scientist Marconi and Nikola Tesla. I think at one point of time, Marconi was working on 19 patents of Tesla. So when people went and spoke to him and said, sir, Marconi is working on 19 patents of yours, Tesla said, doesn't matter. As long as he's benefiting science, it does not matter what I have patented. And that should be the quality that we should be looking at a scientific forum. It's not a race, it's a relay, where you understand a part of it and hand over the next. When you understand yourself truly, boys and girls, when you understand your role in the ecosystem of the scientist, when you understand your role in the universe, at that point of time, you will realize how little you are and how much less time you have to act upon. So you can't go on arguing with people by proving them, by telling them, look, this is not right, that is not right. You do your part and leave it to the world to accept it or not to accept it. But it's high time in India that people start realizing the difference between facts and opinions. Otherwise, we will have more Galileos. We will have, we'll have scientists like Chirodip Shokas being burnt alive, and such difficult times for most people who are speaking the truth in this country. Okay, and this is not region specific. This is happening all over India, thanks to the social media going wrong. So we as the forerunners, we as the people in science, this is our responsibility, if not anything, to educate people, to make people aware. From a simple mask, why should I wear a mask? This is a stupid question that people ask me these days when I do all my sessions. क्या होता है सर, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? वो 10 लोग तो बिना मास्क का जा रहे हैं. पहले तो मास्क पड़ने का हम लोगों को जरूरत नहीं पड़ता था, तो अचानक से मास्क क्यों डाला जा रहा है हमारे ऊपर? And then there are some conspiracy theorists who will come with their typical strange conspiracy theories, which makes no sense. They will say it is some company which is trying to make a lot of profit by making you wear a mask. No, that's not right. Again, the difference between fact and opinion. So India will always remain very risky and very debatable for biotechnological crops and biotechnological research. I'll elaborate this in some time, but let me conclude this. So in Canada, the products are neither safe or risky. In Japan, products are either safe or risky. So Japan, as a country, I worked with them very closely. I find them very good because, they are very black and white with their requirements. So if they say that they find this product risky, they find it risky because of this XYZ reasons. And they have paperwork, they have research, they have everything behind them. So you just can't do any tomfoolery with them. If you go to Brazil, Brazil is again a funny country where, with all due respect, we find that the products are both safe and risky. And very funny, but in Africa, the products are risky even if they do not exist. So we see that there has been a trial of a lot of biotechnological crops which we tried to take to Africa. But they were very skeptical, the African government, that if you're bringing it here, are you trying to, use us as guinea pigs? Because this is something which will always remain as a challenge for young biotechnologists who are doing their research, who are trying to get a particular medicine or a particular variety of crops regarding its toxicity. In a nutshell, if we have to establish ourselves in an ambience of risk-taking, ambience of risk-taking, and the perception about biotechnology among common mass. We talk about GMO, genetically modified crops. You must understand what is our country's stand on genetically modified crops. Why is it we have given a sufficient period of 25 years of trial before it is being actually included into our food habit? What is the difference between a natural genetic manipulation and the genetic manipulation that we do in the lab? As biotechnologists, we need to understand how much of nature we understand. So if we don't understand the nature as a whole, then is it possible for us to manipulate the nature just by understanding a little part of it? Why can't we biotechnologists focus our attention instead of crop manipulation or product manipulation to areas where we can increase the shelf life of the product? What is stopping us from using nanotechnology in food preservation? Why can't we stop the post-harvest loss, which I told you is almost about 90,000 crores in India? These are areas where you can contribute. These are areas where you can look for opportunities. But please understand, it is not going to be easy. Okay? I can give you the startup figures in India. You'll be surprised. I don't know if you'll be surprised, but 99% of the startups fail. Why? 99% of the startups fail. So someday, if I get an opportunity to come to Satna, then I can spend a lot of time with you on all this case, especially. But I can tell you one of the major reasons is that inconsistency. One of the major reasons is inconsistency. So people trying to focus too much on being the CEO and the CMD and some kind of a strange, phony designation, and not on the work, not on the actual work. Some people are so focused on the product development, they completely forget about the marketing. Please remember, boys and girls, if you are developing a product, unless you have a very strong sales team, unless you have a very strong marketing plan, I'm very sure that this product will never go in the market. You can ask a lot of your people, a lot of your seniors who are in pharmaceuticals. Let me give you an example, and I think I'll probably conclude with that. And then we can have a little bit of a question answer session. There was a company which launched a product which was known for increasing the vitality and the strength, the vigor of both men and women, because they had harped upon something called ginseng. So they basically extracted the active ingredients of ginseng, which were responsible for the youth, preservation of youth. I'm not getting into the details of all this. I can have months after months. I can talk on the processes, biological mechanisms, the biochemistry pathways. I can talk, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you only this happened. This happened, and they launched this product. The company probably was Abbott. Abbott Pharmaceuticals, as you know, it's a big company, man. This product completely failed in India. Completely failed. But today, it's a very, very popular product, and almost in every household, you will see this brand. Can somebody tell me what is the name of this brand? If I tell you, then you will probably be very surprised. Can anybody tell me what is the name of this brand? The name of this brand is Revital. Okay? I think which was later brought in by Mankind Pharma, or I think it was by, I think it was bought in by this guy. Dr. Reddy's lab, I think, bought that. I'm not very sure. I'm forgetting the name here. So just because they were unable to market that, and just imagine, Revital today is being marketed specifically both for male and female. When you look at food biotechnology, one of the areas that you work on is probiotics. So one of the very common drink, a popular drink in China was Yakult. So when Yakult was launched in China, it was a major, major hit. Almost every household in China will have at least 3-4 vials of Yakult on the table, on their dinner table, or the dining table, to be more precise. But if you look at India, when this product was launched, it failed massively. In spite of all the good advertisement that its people have given, this product did not do well at all. One of the reasons this happened was India does not understand the concept of long-term benefit. So Yakult tells you that you should buy a set of 30 vials and you should have this one vial every day for the 30, for 6 months, and then you will be able to see the result. So in this country where most people are looking at chutki mein chipkao, jitna jaldi ho sake isko kar do, fatafat, all this. So now, for them, if you talk about 6 months, they were unable to understand how by drinking such a tasteless drink for 6 months can improve something in my gut. Isse acha to main chirota ka pani pee lunga. Now, when you look at chirota, let's look at the other part of it. We talk about Ayurvedic medicines in India. First of all, the rich cultural heritage that we had, that has been manipulated by many people for their own benefit in certain ways. And today, most of the information in Ayurveda is encrypted and we don't have those information properly. Also, for those of you who are already doing in the field of plant biotechnology and research like me, you will understand that, when we talk about a pharmacognostic drug, we talk about active ingredients. So, you have Vidania somnifera, which is ashwagandha. And then Rauwolfia serpentina, which is sarpagandha. For a common man, it is very difficult to identify between Vidania somnifera and Rauwolfia serpentina unless you are able to see the flower. Now, even if I understand that you are a high-tech, a hi-fi botanist, or you have a very good understanding of taxonomy, if I bring both the flowers to you, plants to you dry, you will not be able to make out between the plants unless you have real expertise in taxonomy. At this point of time, if I'm sick and I need the medicine, okay, for improving my stomach, I can't go around searching for a Rauwolfia serpentina. I cannot go around finding for a Vidania somnifera. Chances are I might also land up with Rauwolfia serpentina, which goes very, very close to this Vidania somnifera. So what do I do? Or what did the scientists do? They studied the plant. They extracted the active ingredient, like somniferin, like witheriferin, and eventually they produce certain chemicals from it, certain active chemicals, medicinal drugs from it, like ranitidine, famotidine, which eventually comes down to you as Rantac and Famtac. So you just now have to go to a medicine shop and say, I need a Rantac, man. I need a Famtac. That's it. You don't go and tell them, Vidania somnifera. No. But this is the history of evolution of medicine. So someday, if you get a chance, then I can talk about the history of evolution right from the age of, when we started evolving as human beings without fire till now. What has been the history of medicine? I can talk to you about that. And it is very important to know your history, because this will give you a cue how we evolved as scientists over a period of time. So that's it. I think from my side, let me see if I can give you something else. So capture it. So guys, if you really want to know more about what I do and what I'm working on, then this is my Facebook profile. You can all send me a request here. I can add you up. You can be in touch. Already, quite many of your friends from food technology are friends with me. So you can learn more about what I'm doing, what my team is doing, where are the areas we are working on. And if you're interested in a particular segment, then definitely you can write to us. I would request Dr. Chore also that if your students are interested for dry lab researchers, for projects, for plant biotechnology, agriculture biotechnology related subjects, sustainability, biotechnology and sustainability, I will love to help you all. We can give you very interesting projects to work upon, but then most of our work is on field, so we'll give you the opportunity to actually go and handhold people, understand from them, and we can build up from there. I'm not talking about today again on the entrepreneurial behaviors, okay, because I cannot draw it on the board, unfortunately. I would have spoken to you about the entrepreneurial behaviors that has been taught to me from the United Nations. I'm with the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. They run a program called EmpreTech, which is on enterprise development in 46 different countries. India is one. I'm being trained as one of the youngest and first master trainers from India. And it is a hardcore workshop on behavioral psychology, very interesting. So maybe someday when we get a face-to-face opportunity, we can work that out. So I would keep that with Dr. Chaube. And that's all from my side, sir. If there is any question, I would love to take that. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Didi. It was a very nice and a very informative, and I can say excellent talk. And you have guided very well in all manner to all the
Thank you, Dr.
attendees.
Saab.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr.
And
Saab.
if you have some query, can we conduct the Q&A session?
Yes, we
Yes,
have
yes,
some
absolutely,
questions,
sir. Please.
One or two
and thank you
questions.
so much, sir. That presentation was very informative and highly supportive. So the questions we have from our participant. The first question is, sir, I am in the graduation and I don't know the difference between entrepreneurship and startup. So please clarify that.
देखो, what is the name? किसने पूछा ये?
Actually, he's a graduate student, I guess. The name is not mentioned.
नहीं, उसका नाम बताओ. और नाम नहीं बताया. ठीक है.
Yes, yes.
First of all, my most important tip to all of you who are in this workshop, if you really want to grow as a person, if you really want to grow as a human being and a successful entrepreneur, the first thing जो आपको करना है वो है to identify people by names. लोगों के साथ जुड़ना is very important. Okay. So identify people by names, call people by their name, talk to them, interact with them. You will see that you will get amazing results. अगर तुम दूसरे को respect दोगे, तो respect तुम्हें भी मिलेगा. And this will help you develop and nurture relationships. मैं तुम सबसे ये कहूंगा कि ये सब फोनी टर्म्स में मत घुसो. क्या एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप है, क्या स्टार्टअप है, ये सब छोड़ दो. ये सब किताबी बातें हैं जो बोलने समझाने के लिए अच्छा लगता है. ठीक है. तुमको ये देखना है कि हाउ एम आई यूजिंग साइंस टू अर्न मनी. With this money that I am creating, or this wealth that I am creating, am I helping building up a community? Or rather, if I put it this way, am I using science in a way in which I am building up community wealth? खुद का गाड़ी बाड़ी बंगला ठीक है, okay, no problem, कर लो. But how many people are benefiting because of that? So, we talk about SMART goal, SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound. And we also talk about SMART I as in I, Aksharai, which means impact. So how your goal is going to have a very strong impact on the people around you. All right? Why is this important? This is important because if people around you, they are not benefited by your goals, then you will have a limited influence. Your reach will be limited. So startup and entrepreneurship For me, they are no different. Entrepreneurship is when you start your own business. If I put it very glossly, startup is also the same. Now, Vivek spoke about incubations. He spoke about the BioNest. We are also trying to set up a BioNest in Eastern India from SHRM. We are in talks with certain universities, but the progress is very, very slow. I don't know why, but you know, जब मैं बात करता हूं तो पता नहीं लोग क्यों इसको ढील दे देते हैं. The other thing that you have to understand is most of you, I mean, if I'm collating a little, most of you come from backgrounds where your father and mother, they are usually working in some company or they are government employees. And you are very, very close and precious to them. So, one second. Let's start. Where you are very, very precious to them. So when you go and tell them कि मुझे business करना है पापा या business करना है माँ, so they're very scared. You know why? Because they will say अरे business करोगे कब खड़ा होगा, पैसा कहाँ से आएगा, पता नहीं तुम लोग कर पाओगे कि नहीं, इतना वक्त वेस्ट हो जाएगा. इससे अच्छा देखो वो शर्मा जी का लड़का वो तो नौकरी कर रहा है और देखो कहाँ पहुंच गया. So there will be a thrusting of timelines on you. वो कर लिया, तुम क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे? And this is where your entrepreneurial abilities, entrepreneurial behaviors related to your power and understanding is very, very important. जहां पे तुम बोल सको ठीक है वो कर लिया, मैं भी करूंगा, मैं अपने टाइम से करूंगा. हो सकता है वो सारा चीज जो उसको आज मिल रहा है कल उससे छीन भी जाए. And you have seen that. In this global meltdown, how many people have lost their jobs? Do you have any idea? Vis-a-vis, if you see how many enterprises have closed down, you will see there is a I won't say there is a mismatch, but it's like much less. बहुत कम है कि enterprise पूरा बंद हो गया है. Most of the time, technical people fail in their entrepreneurship is because they are too much focused on technology and research, and they do not focus on sales and marketing. It is not possible for one person to be good at all, and therefore is the need for having a team. So a startup or an entrepreneurship or an enterprise, whatever you say, these are certain tips I'm giving you. Rest, it's your life, it's up to you. Can we move to the next question, dear?
Thank you so much, sir. That answer was really connective because we all had faced that mom and dad interaction with that पढ़ाई करो नहीं तो नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी.
देखो exactly देखो नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी तो छोकरी नहीं मिलेगी, छोकरी नहीं मिलेगी तो लाइफ सेट नहीं होगा. So you know ये चलता जाएगा. And they are not wrong. I am a father. My son is 11.5. So you see मेरे लड़का को अगर थोड़ा सा मतलब मैं भी परेशान हो जाता हूँ. मैं लोगों को इतना बोलता हूँ लेकिन मैं अपने लड़के के लिए भी परेशान हो जाता हूँ. फिर मैं अपने आप को समझाता हूँ कि नहीं उसको धूप छांव सब कुछ देखना है, उसे झेलना है क्योंकि आगे जिंदगी में मैंने रहने नहीं वाला हूँ. It is his life. So you guys will also have to stand strong कि नहीं अगर मैं ये करना चाहता हूँ मैं मर जाऊंगा लेकिन मैं ये करूंगा. और ये जज्बा भी तुम लोगों में होना चाहिए. You know, I love this. If you allow me, I will say 2 lines. Huh? So this is basically my favorite lines from Amitabh Bachchan, who says that कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. तो डुबकिया सिंधु में गोता खूब लगाता है. डुबकिया सिंधु में गोता खूब लगाता है, जाकर खाली हाथ वापस आता है. डुबकिया मतलब द डाइवर्स, सी डाइवर्स. तो डुबकिया सिंधु में मतलब समुंदर में वो लोग डुबकी लगाता है. डुबकिया सिंधु में गोता खूब लगाता है, जाकर खाली हाथ वापस आता है. लेकिन हर बार उसकी मुट्ठी खाली नहीं होती. कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. तो माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, इंडिया इज अ ग्रेट नेशन और इसे विश्व गुरु के रूप में देखने का हमारा और हम जैसे लाखों करोड़ों लोगों का जो सपना है, उसमें तुम लोगों को पार्टिसिपेट करना है और इस देश को आगे लेके जाना है। इसलिए हारना नहीं है, लड़ते जाना है, रास्ता तुम लोगों को जरूर मिले, लेकिन डटे रहना है। नेक्स्ट।
Thank you so much, sir. Those lines are highly mesmerizing. The next question we have, sir, what is an idea? How to design an idea and how to present an idea? That's a unique question.
Guys,
asked
listen, you must take me to Satna because these are workshop. Whatever you are asking is workshop material. So, you know, if we have an interactive workshop, you would see what is an idea. But here I will tell you. If you look at human beings, and all this thing I'm telling you is not some, stupid figment of imagination in my mind. These are all scientific research. Every second, the human mind comes up with 72,000 thoughts. 72,000 thoughts. आपको कैसे पता सर? अरे इसका ग्राफ निकलता है यार. We have systems by which we are able to study the human mind. So these are like electrical impulses. So the neurobiologists, the neurosurgeons, the neuroscientists all over the world, they have found that in human beings, every minute we have 72,000 thoughts. So now the question is, sir, 72,000 thought, इसमें idea कैसे पता चलेगा? Very good question. And that is why I will correlate this to what I told you in the beginning. Observation, hypothesis, experiment, conclusion. So guys, first of all, you have to ideate or you have to listen to your mind. Every day when you are getting a certain thought, say for example, when I was talking to you on this subject, I hope some of you were making notes. Okay. When I told you about the problems with water, when I told you about the problems with climate, with agriculture, with the pharmaceutical industry, with the biotechnological industry, the fact that we have more pandemics going to come in. It's going to hit us like a wave in again another year's time, maybe, or 2 years' time. Not corona. Maybe some other virus, maybe some other protozoa, or maybe some other organisms. It's going to come. Because we have human beings, we have destroyed completely the habitats of the animals. And in the name of jungle safari, in the name of all the kinds of tourism that we are doing, we are invading more and more into their habitats. The animals were supposed to stay in a secluded place because there are certain viruses and certain organisms which stick to them. But today, because of this interference, what is happening are many of the zoonoses. You know, zoonosis, anthroponosis. So zoonosis are coming into the human beings and then they are becoming anthroponos-like. So it is very important. It is very important to understand that we will be needing a lot of areas in which research has to happen and which solutions has to come. These solutions has to be marketed. In the last session that I was having, we were given this responsibility to organize a session for Macaut, which is West Bengal Government's Technological University. I brought in one of my uncles who is the director of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation India chapter, Dr. Raj Shankar Ghosh. So, you know, I told uncle specifically to talk about what was the contribution of India in the vaccine. And I was surprised, he spoke only about 2 vaccines, I think. One was rotavirus and the other was the polio virus, where he spoke about the fantastic contribution of the Indian scientists in these 2 vaccines which impacted the whole world. Because vaccines has to be really low cost because government needs to buy that. If you have some costly solutions, it is not going to happen. So guys, how does the idea come? I had done this drawing. I'm so sorry I'm not able to show you. This was the first picture I was drawing. Okay. In fact, you know, once we are friends on Facebook, I think, and LinkedIn, LinkedIn also. But Facebook is more convenient where I keep posting the cartoons. You can always take my number and you can ping me on my WhatsApp. So you see, idea is the spark. You know, I can tell about myself. The very first day when I entered the industry, I understood that I had the gift of knowledge with me. I did not have any money. I did not have any bada, influential person behind me. I did not have anybody behind me who can say, Didi, ye lo paisa aur kaam karo. But I understood if I'm to believe in Durga, somebody who inspires me, Durga is my inspiration, Ma Durga is my inspiration. The only thing that she has given me is the brain, the idea, and the thoughts. And I started processing that. So with that, I first tried to figure out what do I do to earn? Because remember, ideas are useless to entrepreneurs if no ideas are useless to entrepreneurs unless somebody is willing to pay for it. Okay? So how do I understand that this idea has come? So idea has to be backed up. So first you will have a thought, a very rough idea, a very, very hazy kind of a picture in front of your eyes. And then what happens is you gradually build that up by having sufficient information. So you look for information, you look for opportunities personally. Okay? So you find out more about that particular area that you want to work upon. So for me, I did not have a very direct interaction with agriculture. But I came across a scientist who was a superb, who was actually a guy from pharma, but the later part of his career he developed in agriculture, and his agricultural insights were absolutely fantastic and mind blowing. I loved him. I stayed with him for 10 years. I worked with him very closely. I dwell on his ideas. I read about whatever he told me to read. And from there, gradually, Vedantic Organic Research Foundation was developed. Of course, I had some fundamental difference with my guru, so I had to leave him. But end of the day, it never stopped me from understanding and learning. So in order to shape up an idea, find out where your interest lies and then read about it, what other people are saying. If you are the first time thinker, then definitely it will be a lot difficult. But if already some people have done something on that, you will always get a reference. You can always learn from that, and then you can gradually shape it up. So thoughts will become ideas only when you work on them, and then you will see certain things will get eliminated in the process. So, there will be a trimming, like, the topoisomerase, it cuts off. So like that, there is a trimming that will happen of all that is unnecessarily, and the bulb will definitely burn bright. But you can't sit with the bulb. You have to work on that. Yep. Next.
So thank you so much, sir. That's all the questions we have for you in this session.
Okay.
With this, I have to Shastras, thank you, goodbye. And over to Dr. Kamlesh.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Dr. DD, I think I must say.
Yeah. Just DD is fine. Just DD
Now
is
you
fine,
are
Kamlesh. Yeah.
always famous within us as DD, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your nice time and giving us your important time and sharing all the experiences with us. And you have given very nice training to all of us. And I think many attendees have been encouraged by your thoughts, and they will do something for the nation. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much for Kunal also, because Kunal also accept all the request, and he always arranged many things for us, so that
good about him, doctor. One good thing about Kunal is he may not be a biotechnologist. He may be an economist, but end of the day, he probably understands the industry very well. And that is one reason why I connect with him so strongly, because he's a person who's a doer. वो करने वाला बंदा है, So it is always better to work with a person जिसके साथ अगर आप time invest कर रहे हो, it becomes very productive. So I've been with him now for almost a year now.
Yeah.
Third.
Thank
you. Fantastic. And let's be in touch. Let's be in touch, doctor.
Yeah. We are now in a very tight bonding. Actually, I am with Kunal, and we are always discussing many things. And now we are moving towards some future ventures also. So thank you very much. Thank you, Doctor. And thanks a lot. Arpit, do you have some words with vote of thanks? If you have prepared, please read that.
Yes, sir, definitely. Uh,
Yeah.
If we talk about today's session, it's on scope, career, and entrepreneurship in biotechnology. So, the young future aspiring minds who are very much eager, very much passionate about to be the part of this entire domain, they must focus about the words of DD sir, what they had said at last, that you have to believe in yourself first of all. You have to be very trustworthy, and you have to make some trustworthy attempts for make your life a successful one. So with these words, I, Arpit Shrestha, very much thankful to all the speakers who had given their incredible time for making this session a successful one. So, and I would also like to thank the IT team of AKS University and Mr. Vivek Agnihotri for all the broadcasting facilities. And with this, the entire administration is very thankful to the all the speakers who are continuously with us since from last 1 month. And I must say that in upcoming days we have a validatory program. So for that, I must hand over the mic to Dr. Kamlesh Chawla, sir. He will tell you that what are our future plans. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Arpit, for deliberating nicely these particular words you have expressed. And I must thank you first to all the dignitaries and all the eminent speakers, especially Dr. S.K. Varshney, sir, Dr. Sangeeta Srivastava ma'am, Dr. Vivek Moria sir, and Dr. Devarishi Dey. And because you all have made very well this particular workshop excellent and in all manner. So I must thankful to all of you, and also I am very much thankful to our chairman of the workshop, Dr. Ashok Pandey sir, who always supporting us to make this event very successful. And so in this, because we have spent so many days since 3rd September to till on today on 19th of October, we have completed 18 workshops, and it was a very huge job. And actually, for this, I must thankful to all the speakers who have joined us and have deliberated many new ideas and advances in the field of biotechnology, to all the participants and to us, and making this particular all the workshops very much successful. So other things we will try to learn and try to get information from all the participants as a feedback. So we are organizing a very huge valedictory session with the National Academy of Sciences of India, that is NASI, and that is most premier scientific society of the India. And I think we are going to organize this particular event at huge level, because many biotechnology policy makers are going to join that particular event. And hopefully we are going to organize it on 28th of October of this month, so that we are postponing our 21st workshop to 28th of October of this month, because we would like to take some time to prepare this particular workshop, so that all the participants can learn or can get very nice, you can say that, array of light of biotechnology from our you can say policy makers, because they are making all the policies related with the biotechnology in our nation for the betterment of the human and also for the environment. So we will going to learn, or we are going to attend all the lessons or all the talks from all the eminent speakers who are going to join this particular workshop as in our valedictory session. And we are going to give a title of this particular session as a brainstorming session on Indian biotechnology arena as demand, opportunities, and policy future challenges. So this is present need, and with the dream of Atmanirbhar Bharat, because everybody is talking about this Atmanirbhar Bharat, and we are also we are already into that on that path, so that our nation can move on that particular path, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat. So as a student, as a researcher, we have to learn all these particular, you can say, particular things which are coming over by as a new biotechnology policy by the Department of Biotechnology or the Department of Science and Technology of Government of India, what they are doing for future challenges coming over as a emerging disease or as per future demands of customers or agriculture or crop production, or you can say any industrial product. So we will try to get all this information from all of them. So thank you very much. With these words, we are closing our today's session, and very soon we will contact you. And we are finding 5-6 feedback from the regular attendees of this workshop. So we will contact you directly through email, so that we will give 5 minutes to each attendee, maximum 5 or 6. So they will present their feedback on online as an online presenter. We will provide you a presenter link. So we are choosing based on your presence in the event, and we will contact you directly. So we are doing all these things within a week, and we will contact you. And certificates are going to be distributed. Till yet, we have distributed 3 workshop certificates, and because it is taking time, so within a week we will circulate, we will distribute all the certificates to the participants very soon. So thank you very much. Thank you once again. Now we are closing our session. Thank you, Dr. Day sir, and Dr. Varshney sir is also here. I think so. We are closing this particular workshop session. We are stopping the broadcasting now. Thank you very much, Arpit. Thanks, Lord.
Thank you, sir.